Good job today, man. It's one at a time, and we'll get the job done. Y'all know what to say. On three. 1, 2, 3.
And the home of the Jets.
Mr. Primetime.
This may be the closest thing we ever get to a playoff stream. Sam Darnold, let's go.
You got Rams, Vikings after a...
Yeah, I broke out the shirt.
I see the Sam Darnold shirt there. After kind of a boring weekend of football, minus the game last night. Wildcard weekend's kind of been a dud, but this game I'm really looking forward to because can Darnold bounce back from his terrible performance last week? The Rams are rolling, but they're playing in Arizona, so all kinds of things going on here.
Good look at Flores' defense, too.
Good look at Flores' defense, who's interviewing with the Jets tomorrow, so you never know. Could be a foreshadowing of things to come.
If you want my thoughts on Brian Flores, posted a video a half hour ago. You can check that
Or
out.
if you want the vision for the future, my video yesterday.
Not tonight.
Chris Spielman, Aaron Glenn. That's right.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine. I can get on board with that. I can
What
get
are
on
you saying
board.
stop
with
it
that.
for? I'm saying the vision for the future. See?
I can get on
You're
board.
promoting
with
your video. I'm promoting mine.
that. Okay, that's fine.
Or we
Don't
can
try-
talk
don't try to
about.
sell me on Flores tonight. Just Aaron.
We can talk about.
We're gonna go down that path tonight. We're really gonna do that.
Listen, we're gonna see now.
We're gonna
This
get
is a new
spanked by
year.
Ohio State.
It's a new year.
Yeah.
Positivity. We want to talk about winning cultures, winning programs. National championship game, my friends. Everybody, week in and week out, not going to win this game. Can't do this. Can't do that. Keep winning games.
Name the bet. I'll spot you 20 points.
Nope. They're gonna listen, man.
20 points. Name the bet.
You guys could all hate all you want, but the problem, the bottom line is,
whatever you want to do.
you can hate all you want.
20 points. 20
hate
points.
all you
whatever
want, but you'll all be watching my team national championship game.
Sounds like you have no confidence, honestly.
I don't need to have confidence. I know my coaches. I know my program is and how far they've come. I know they're huge underdogs. I get it. And now people want to pile on when there's still everybody keeps counting them out and they keep winning. And the only thing I know is their future is bright with Marcus Freeman as head coach, which I'm excited about. The Jets should interview him because they whatever.
I'll give them respect though for getting there.
It's been a while, right? You know what?
I won't be a hater tonight.
They are the complete opposite of the Jets. They're well coached. They play with passion. They play with pride. They make big plays in big moments.
Scrappy team. I can respect that. As much as I hate Notre Dame, I could still respect
I appreciate that. But we also have a lot of rumors. We got new candidates that could be popping out before our eyes.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
let's
we're
start-
interviewing everybody, so, might as well.
And nothing wrong with interviewing everybody. It's called a comprehensive search.
Well, hold on. We're interviewing everybody except all the actual experienced candidates, such as McCarthy. We don't want Gruden. We don't want Pete Carroll, who's now taking interviews. Anybody that's won something, the Jets aren't interested in. Anybody that has a price tag, the Jets aren't interested in. But go ahead.
That's not necessarily true because they went all in on Vrabel and actually made a last minute offer to actually pay more than the Patriots are paying, and he still said no. So the Jets are willing to pay the right guy. Now, Buffalo Jet fan is making an excellent point because if everybody says we don't want a first-time head coach, okay, we want a proven commodity. Okay, we want a guy that wins and has won in the past. Okay, Mike McCarthy is now available.
Yep.
Dude, this is the most obvious interview that has to happen. Hands down. Like this checks everybody's box. Everybody's like, well, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. He wins football games. He changes cultures. He's dealt with the meddling owner of Jerry Jones. You want to run it back, Aaron Rodgers? He's your guy.
The problem is they interviewed him the last time around, and apparently there were red flags. There were things they didn't like. So,
but that's according to what we read. But also, Woody Johnson was not involved in that. Wasn't that Chris Johnson involved in the interview process that time?
Yeah, there was.
So, dude, if they don't bring him in, it's absolutely ridiculous. You got to bring and it's so funny. Jet fans go, huh?
Would it
surprise me because this would be like you got to figure some guys that aren't being interviewed, Ton Monken, Cohen, Ben Johnson. You know why they probably told the Jets, I'm not interested. Just like Aaron Glenn wasn't interested with the Patriots, these guys are literally telling you. Monken's probably bitter from the last time. Cohen probably said, no thanks. He may take Bowles' job, and he probably should. But so now McCarthy, it's like you've got to reach out and say, are you interested? Come in for an interview. Tell us your vision for the team. Pete Carroll probably said no already, but these are guys you have to. And Buffalo Jet fan, I'm 1,000% with you, dude. And if he's interested, he's got to be a strong candidate. He has to be.
I agree with what you said last week, that he's probably the perfect guy. If you just want to get over the hump, fucking turn around the losing culture, at least get back to some credibility and make the playoffs. He's probably not going to get you to the Super Bowl. He can get you all the way, but turning the page from the last 14 years of fucking losing, absolutely.
Dude, if you take him from being a losing dysfunctional organization to winning 10 or 11 games every year, and then you say, okay, listen, man, we've done enough with you. We've actually learned how to win now, finally. We actually have a culture finally. Then you hire the next guy to go over the top. That's fine. Similar to what was it with the Tampa Bay did that when you had the whole Gruden thing and Dungy, whatever, all that stuff. But dude, the Jets, let's not act like the Jets are like this hotshot team. We're perennial losers. We don't know which way is up at this point. This guy turns it around with the Cowboys. He deals with all kinds of chaos, all kinds of media bullshit, all kinds of stuff with the owner, and wins. And the reason why the season tanked this year is Dak got hurt.
Yep.
Dude, you want a winner, you want a proven guy, you don't want a first-time head coach, check, check, check.
I know he's a little bit older, but wouldn't you put Pete Carroll almost in that same boat, even if it's just for, a director of football operations or GM kind of role? I mean, wouldn't you at least try to reach out and interview him as well?
Pete Carroll's a front office guy for me. I think you see McCarthy, you can get, say, 5-6 years out of him. What are you getting at Pete Carroll? Maybe 2-3 years. I'd interview him, but shit, I interviewed John Gruden too. So what the hell do I know at this point? But you have but then McCarthy has to be a candidate. It's just, and I'm with him. It's funny reading the comments about him. And yeah, Cooper Rush looked better than Aaron Rodgers did. So he's a proven guy, if that's what you want. The other guy that everybody's talking about today after the debacle, with Mike Tomlin is, Pittsburgh Steelers fans hate Mike Tomlin. So to me, honestly, they probably don't want to fire him. But at some point, it's like a change of scenery is best, where both sides got to agree. Listen, it's just we've reached our peak here. We're not really going anywhere. We both sides respect each other, but they want to move on. Dude, Mike Tomlin wins, dude. I don't care. He has no losing seasons.
No, he's never had a year under 500. Absolutely.
It's like you're only as good as the quarterback that you have. And he's been winning without quarterbacks.
But can't you see Jet fans being pissed at that? Oh, guys lost 6 playoff games in a row.
We can't even win. We can't even get a 500 season.
I know.
Dude, beggars can't be choosers.
That's what most Jet fans would harp on, though. Rather than the fact that he's never had a losing season, they would focus on the fact that he's lost 6 consecutive.
No, you know what cracks me up? We spent 2 months saying we need a proven head coach. You have guys like potentially Mike Tomlin and Mike McCarthy available. Everybody's like, no, fuck that. We need Josh McCown. What? Seriously, this is what we're doing now? We don't want Mike McCarthy. We don't want Josh McCown, who's not even a fucking coordinator right now. I get it. Good guy, good quarterback. Everybody loves him, blah, 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 blah. How about having the proven guy for a team that's very dysfunctional? How did that go out the window already? I don't understand it. And I'm not saying McCown's not a good guy. And the thing is, well, maybe he's 2 years away from being a good head coach. Get him early. So what? Get eaten alive here. Learn on the fly when this team is going to be looking at him like, dude, we need something better than this. This isn't the job where you learn on the fly and try to figure out how to be a head coach. You'll get destroyed here.
I'll be honest. I would take him in a second over Flores, though.
I just disagree.
In a second, I would take him over Flores.
I like Josh McCown as an offensive coordinator to give him this organization right now and say, you know what? 2 years from now, he's going to be good. How are you going to change a culture by what? He's literally learning how to be an offensive coordinator and a head coach on the job while this team is looking for leadership and guidance and how to win.
Wouldn't the same thing kind of be said about an Aaron Glenn, though? First-time head coach, learning on the job, don't know what kind of staff he's going to bring in.
He's also been a defensive coordinator. He's got a lot more experience than Josh McCown does.
McCown's been an offensive coordinator.
For how long?
Not long.
Come on, bro. You can't even compare the resumes, man. I respect McCown, but people shitting on McCarthy and Tomlin and all these other guys like, oh, McCown's the guy. I'm just, you could be a diamond in the rough. You could say all these things, man. That's fine. The thing is me is like, I'm going to stick to my ground. I don't give a shit people telling me on social media. I genuinely don't care. I don't. So let's hire the guy from Maryland. That interview is just awkward. Christ. And interviewing Jeff Ulbrich today, I know was as a courtesy because you have to.
Formality.
But yeah, but that's just, come on. What are we doing here? And I know, listen, everybody that's been fired has a story. Flores was fired. Rex Ryan was fired for a reason. All the Rex Ryan fans out there, his shot is now gone. Everybody, Thomas Dimitroff, fired for a reason. So now it's like, when they've been fired, have they learned and grown since then? Or are they the same person they've always been and they're going to be fired in 2 more years? That's the difference. When you brought in Gase, who we knew was a bad coach, he had no time off to fix himself. You hoping that Flores can do that? You're hoping Vrabel can do that?
I'm sure you heard the story though with Fitzpatrick last week, right? That
Yeah,
soundbite.
but also the Fitzpatrick also backtracked after that
and all
too.
that shit.
He also backtracked after that and started adding a lot of positive things too.
Well, yeah, because he was probably getting some criticism for it.
Because that's his good
Felt
friend.
bad.
He said
Felt
good
bad,
friend.
yeah.
His good friend. Everybody's got takes, man. Everybody's got takes. So let's see. I don't think Ron Rivera is happening, man. I think it's a good gesture to interview him and like, listen, you can interview all you guys you want and get their plan for your team and get their vision, see what they say. You gather all your data and work off, don't like this, don't like that, and figure it else. So again, Buffalo Jet fan, thank you, sir. If we hire Joe Brady or Aaron Glenn or whatever, and they only win 12 games or lose a round through the playoffs, will that be a failure? No, of course not.
Hell no.
And there's always
after 14 years, like the first step is just getting back there, having a winning season.
Bro,
gotta
we win
walk,
10.
Gotta crawl before you can walk.
If the next coach wins 9 games next year, we're gonna build a statue for him because we haven't had a winning season in forever, right? Like we haven't.
I wouldn't go that far. But I'm not celebrating anything until the Jets are back in the playoffs. But certainly that's like
Salah started winning games. We started praising. Salah started winning games with Zach. Like, oh my god, he found the answer at both. We don't even know how to handle winning.
That was when we were trying to be nice and embrace a rebuild. And all right, he's got 2 years to figure it all out. Like we had zero expectations Salah's first 2 years. So anything that they won, any development from Zach Wilson, it was kind of a bonus.
So a lot of interesting things here. Who you want, who you don't want. It's going to heat up tomorrow. But you got to figure the general manager search has got to come to an end this week. I know they're doing the guy from the Packers, I believe, tomorrow. But I mean, it's got to be like second round of interviews and get it locked up because if you look at what the Jets have done, they've done a lot of pairings, man, where you see it's like you see, Nagy and Berganzi, Aaron Glenn and Spielman, you could see Greenberg and, there's all these guys that you can figure out like all the spots.
Yep.
So you're trying to see what their teams are, but it's going to be interesting, man. Hopefully you get the general manager in place. I don't think it's going to be Grigson. It's funny to see everybody overacting that with Grigson. Just people take one name and harp on it for like 3 days. When I think it's just the Jets doing due diligence and it's no chance in hell happening.
I hope so.
It's not happening, dude. It's just not.
Well, if you're buying into the Flores rumors, that could be obviously the natural pairing there. But
yeah, I mean, this is pretty much a comprehensive search, but I just don't think that's happening. So, and this is actually a very fair point here. Shout out to everybody in LA, man. That is just wild. Actually, we have remember Rumi? Rumi used to call him. She lives out there in Los Angeles. So, man, it's crazy, scary times for sure. It's
Guy David's out there as well. Hopefully everything's doing well.
Yeah, man. Definitely thoughts and prayers to them. You got Primetime's favorite guy going tonight, Sam Darnold.
Excited for this.
I'm actually rooting for the Rams because I want Sam out. I want Flores available. The Vikings get knocked out tonight. We can have our candidate ready to go.
Come on.
That's right. I want Sam out.
Would you take Flores over Aaron Glenn?
Yes.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Would you really?
Yeah. I don't want a first-time guy, dude. Listen, I know I love Aaron Glenn. I love him a lot. I don't want a first-time guy. But now,
what is it that you love about Flores? I don't understand it.
What is it about? So what do we know about Aaron Glenn?
Not much.
Exactly.
But we know a lot about Flores, and a lot of it isn't fucking good either.
So, but do we? So we're gonna say that a guy that's gonna get interviews everywhere has nothing good about him whatsoever. How did he put together winning seasons in Miami? Was it just a miracle?
Winning seasons. He never made the playoffs.
Did he have a winning season there, or did he have 2 winning seasons there?
His 9-win season, they started 1-7. You realize that, right?
What was the final record of his seasons?
They won 9 games and they started 1-7, so they weren't playing for anything the second half of the year. And the year that he won 10 games, they collapsed down the stretch. His defense gave up 50-plus points with the playoffs on the line. Okay. That's not a guy I'm putting my faith in to turn this shit around. He might succeed somewhere else as a second-time head coach.
So you're saying while he was struggling,
14 years of fucking losing. It's not happening here with a meddling owner, our media, our fan base, like the stuff coming out from Fitzpatrick. It's a fucking natural disaster waiting to happen if the Jets hire.
So while he was struggling, he won 9 of 10 games, which is more than any Jet coach has done in the last, 14 years?
That's not a risk we can afford to take. I'm sorry.
Risk?
Yeah.
A risk is an unknown guy. At least Flores, you have a blueprint on where you're
I'd rather take that risk, honestly.
Okay, then that's what. So you don't want a proven guy. You're cool with a first-time guy.
But he's not proven, though.
You don't want a proven guy. To me, he is proven.
I see Bubs. He's like, what is he proven though? Like, what is he actually proven? He's 24-25 as a head coach. That's a losing record.
Okay, so in your world, you never hire a guy that had any coach that's been fired doesn't win record, so he's never getting a job.
Look at the names that are out there. You just said it with McCarthy and Pete, like all these
Okay.
guys that actually have accomplished something. Gruden, if you want to go that route, all these guys that have won a Super Bowl, won
Okay.
divisions, and the only guy that we're going to interview is Vrabel from that list.
They interviewed Vrabel.
That's what I'm saying. He's the only one, and everybody
Okay,
else.
so if the people are turning you down, if Pete Carroll says no prime time, I'm not going to be interviewed by you. If Mike McCarthy goes to the Saints, I don't want to go to the Jets. Are you going to sit there and be like,
did they reach out?
How the fuck do I know? It just happened today.
So make them turn you down. What's the harm in reaching out?
So you do what you can do. But Flores is in the mix. He just is.
Hard no for me, man.
That's fine. I'd rather a proven guy over. Like, I'm just consistent, man. I love Aaron Glenn, and we can make a case for him. No problem. I can make a case for. So now he's not proven. Okay.
He's not. 24 25. That's what he's proven.
So he has winning seasons in the NFL. It means he knows how to win in the NFL. He's only going to get better.
Todd Bowles had a winning season. We kicked him out. 10 wins. Didn't make the playoffs. Collapsed down the stretch. Same shit.
So what do you do with the Buccaneers? Back-to-back playoff seasons. More than anything the Jets have done.
Would that have happened here?
Well, does he have a quarterback?
This is a whole different animal. This organization, this culture that's here.
So if it's a different animal, no first-time head coach should come here because it's going to be eating them alive.
But Aaron Glenn, I think, is the one exception because he's actually been here and a part of it, and he saw the culture change from
15 years ago. He was here forever ago.
Yeah, were the Jets not a fucking miserable losing franchise in the 90s? The Kotite years were some of the most miserable that Jet fans talk about, right?
Right.
And he saw that in basically 2 years. They went from bottom feeders to AFC East champions.
So, and that was how long ago?
A long time ago.
So
you also listen to him talk. You can see that he relates to the players.
I listen to Solid
players coach. That's
Solid's a players coach. Very similar traits.
No, you're right. You're right. But he was also completely different once he got hired here. Would the same happen with Glenn?
How do we know?
I'd rather take that chance than Flores, though.
That's fine. To each their own. Like I said, I respect everybody's decision. I'm not backing down from what I believe in. It's just
that's fair. That's fair.
So we'll just see what happens. We'll take calls. If you guys want to call in and share your coaching thoughts, the Rams have the ball.
I want to see Sam out there. Got Blake Cashman on the screen right now.
Vanessa, very unhappy with you already.
Thank you, Vanessa. Appreciate that.
First time head coach turned around Temple Org. That's true. Dan Campbell did it. You also had the retread and Dan Quinn turning things around the Commanders. So we'll all see.
It's hard to see many first-time head coaches doing that, other than possibly Aaron Glenn.
So Aaron Glenn is the unicorn of all the guys out there. Why can't it be Joe Brady?
I'd be open to that.
You didn't say
not entirely exciting, but
why? So why would you not be excited about a guy? It's an offensive, innovative guys on a winning organization with the Bills. How can that not inspire you?
Because my preference is all of the guys that have winning experience, and the fact that we're not.
What is Joe Brady doing with the Bills? Losing?
I'm talking about winning experience as a head coach, having been there, done that.
So Aaron Glenn's not a head coach.
I know, but I said before, he's the one exception because of his connection to the Jets. He's been here. He's been a part of.
So just because he has a connection to the Jets, he makes him better than Brady, more qualified than Brady? He played here?
Well, his connections to Parcells, to Sean Payton, I think he's moving up the ranks the right way. The way guys talk about him, that's a guy I can get behind.
So what's more important, that or working with some of the best quarterbacks in football?
Is he going to have that here? Who's our quarterback?
So if the Jets are looking to develop quarterbacks and find a quarterback, I have a lot more confidence in him developing and understanding how to work with a guy than in Aaron Glenn.
That's fair. That's fair.
And I don't even want a first-time head coach. Remember when Ty Johnson caught 20-yard TDs for the Jets on fourth down, no less? Oh, man. Ty Johnson made that catch yesterday. He couldn't even catch screen passes with the Jets.
You're right.
So I would
say he dropped everything when he was a Jet.
I trust what Minnesota players say about him more than Fitzpatrick. Viking players love Flores.
As a defensive coordinator.
As a coach.
As defensive coordinator.
Now, I'm not talking myself out of Glenn. Listen, if Aaron Glenn comes here, I'll support him 100%. You just want to see him put together a good staff. He's not my first choice, though, nor is Josh McCown. He's just not.
I'd love McCown as offensive coordinator.
Nice catch by Higbee. All right. Rams driving down the field prime time, 19-yard line already. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
It's going to be a shootout.
Brian Flores is overrated. Isn't that how this works?
I'm sure they're going to give up 40 points tonight.
And then Aaron Glenn's going to play the Commanders. They'll lose that game. Like Aaron Glenn's overrated too. He's terrible.
He looks lost already.
Look at this guy.
He's checking both sides of his play sheet. He has no idea what he's doing.
And he doesn't have any markers by his hat. Like Ulbrich had 2 markers. Flores has none.
Nothing.
Definitely not ready for this team. There's no way.
He's not prepared. Playoff game, not prepared.
Absolutely. He's terrible.
Rush him off
Why
the
didn't the
list.
Jets interview Kingsbury? I don't think he wants to come here, dude. I think he said if he does want to leave, he wants to be with a young quarterback and offense he can build. I don't think he wants to come here, man.
I hate that we have to say that about like how many different guys that should be in like the top 10 of coaching candidates that are out there.
Dude, we don't have.
They don't want to come here. You can't force them to come here. You can't force them to take an interview.
But dude, if you're with the Commanders coaching Jaden Daniels, I would be picky as shit to where I'm going to be a head coach at. I'd want Caleb Williams. I want Trevor Lawrence. You know what? I'll just wait till next year and keep building up my stock. The job I really want. Guys you don't have to be desperate when you're a guy like that. They're going to be good for a lot of years down there.
Yep. Same thing with Monken too.
Yeah, Monken just hates the Jets. I think this he's probably pissed from the last time.
Probably right.
And that was what Louis Riddick said that. He said, if you're not interviewing Monken, you're just not doing it right. Riddick said that.
I saw that.
A little shot at the Jets. It looks like Rex Ryan's been ruled out too, which is no surprise, as he should be. He's just a talking head at this point.
Was he saying some shit today?
I don't know. I tuned him out, man. I just can't even. Well, he called the Texans the bye week. Chargers. The Texans the bye week. Chargers supposed to roll them, and that was like the battle cry for the Texans. Like, oh yeah, we're the bye week, huh? Like, all right. So, I hate those words.
Once he started dissing my boy, I was out.
Which one? Sam Darnold?
No, Rodgers.
I mean, we all do that. 3rd and 7. McVay with his head buried in the play sheet.
Oh damn!
He said he kicked Vrabel's ass twice a year.
Oh Jesus! Back to that.
He just can't get out of his own way, dude.
At least the next years, if we did it again, it would have been fun. It would have been entertaining.
No,
but
I don't need fun. I want winning. I don't need headlines.
I agree.
Talk. All right, 3rd and 7 from the, I don't know where it is, 15, 16-yard line?
17-yard line.
17-yard line.
Can Flores' defense get a big 3rd down stop?
Let's go, Stafford. There it is. There you. Oh, he's out of bounds, though. He's short.
Bad spot.
This is a very easy answer because I don't want to. Absolutely no way in hell. If you and Romeo want to do it, you guys can go for it. Enjoy yourselves.
Wait. It's next Monday night, right?
It sure is. I will not be available.
Wait.
No way. I'm not going to have you ruin my experience.
It's Monday night.
That's right. I'm out. I'll be having a nice couple beers, pizza, celebrating the national championship game. I'm out. You and Romeo can do it.
You're gonna leave me solo on the chat?
1,000%. I'm out. I'm not going to have you guys ruin my experience. Absolutely not.
I mean, Notre Dame's going to do that all by themselves. But
that's fine. And I don't need to hear from you or anybody else.
Look at Flores' undisciplined defense. Look at that shit.
That's right.
Offsides on 4th and 1.
Must learn that from Saleh.
Completely unprepared. I've seen this shit before.
You guys are not rooting for Notre Dame. I know you guys are all haters. So,
come on. You got to do this.
But
it's Monday night. We have to.
Prime time and Romeo can do it. I am a sellout. Absolutely right. Yep. I'm out. Yep. You're not going to ruin my national championship experience by doing all this, the chat, and what do you think about this?
We'll be here for you. We'll be here to lift you up. No, all the emotions after you're down by like 28 at the half.
No, it's fine. You guys can all hate.
Back on the right track.
It's funny because you guys could all hate, but you're all going to be watching the championship game. My team's in it. 1st and goal. How do you get the 1st down? You got that?
You didn't see that? Offsides on 4th and 1.
Geez, that's right. There we go, baby.
Oh, my God. So this is the guy you want as our head coach?
That's right.
This is the guy you want?
That's right. This is Kevin O'Connell. Guy's overrated. Let's trade for him.
Come on.
All right, so let's talk some Jets here. Who you guys want, who you don't want. Tomorrow is a big day in terms of the search where a lot of guys are getting interviewed. A lot of guys have been interviewed. And now some people getting nervous too. It's like other guys like Berganzi are getting second interviews at other places. We haven't done second interviews yet.
Berganzi and somebody else was getting a second interview. I forget. Maybe the guy from the Packers.
Yep, guy from the Packers.
Yeah. But the Titans, right?
Yes, sir. Titans are making moves. You got the Raiders with the unknown, the Cowboys with the unknown. Yep, tell you. Flores is out. What's up, Bubs?
Hey, how's it going?
How you
got
doing,
the Darnold jersey on.
You got the Darnold jersey on too?
Yeah.
Wait a represent.
Haven't pulled out of my closet since the game against the Patriots in 2020, the last one. So.
I have to pull out my ghost jerseys.
I haven't broke out that shirt since they traded him.
Yeah, it's been a minute. So, but yeah, this Flores guy, I don't know what he was doing there.
I am out.
Yeah, I agree with you guys on the McCarthy stuff. I don't know why they're not at least giving him an interview. It's this. I like the beginning of the search with like the wide net and stuff, and you kind of hope that over time they would bring in some of these bigger names, whether it be Gruden or somebody like that. But I always thought that McCarthy got a little too much hate over time. I always thought he got a little bit of the rough end of the stick. I think people don't give him enough credit. I think McCarthy could be similar, just to change his scenery, or even with Tomlin too, potentially change of scenery could help. Like you remember, like Reed back in the day with the Eagles, it kind of wore out there. Then he went to Kansas City, and it took a little bit, but once he found that elite quarterback in Mahomes, obviously now they're going for a three-peat, and it feels like, in a way, Tomlin could be potentially that. It doesn't seem like they're going to get rid of him, but at least contact them and see, right? You can come in here, build the foundation. Sometimes just messaging with a team just doesn't work anymore.
How much would you be willing to give up to get Tomlin in here? First round pick, you doing it?
I mean, if you're telling, he's a proven guy to come in here. Tomlin has won more than Tomlin would walk in here, and the minute he walked through the doors of One Jets Drive, he'd be the most accomplished coach since Parcells has been here. Same thing with McCarthy.
The instant credibility, instant respect. You had the players' attention, and everything changes. Just that quickly, it does.
Yeah. And he's not a guy, too. He's not a first time. You know what you're getting in him
100%.
Day one. And guys need change of scenery. Just like players sometimes need change of scenery, coaches do, too. Like I mentioned with Reed. And the whole McCarthy thing just doesn't make sense, because there's a lot of fans out there that want an offensive mind. He's a first-time guy. A lot of these offensive minds are a first-time guy, whether it be Brady, Liam Cohen. You're getting an offensive mind in McCarthy, veteran who's established, and some people don't want him. That just doesn't make a ton of sense. Like Buffalo Jet fans said earlier, he took a team with Cooper Rush and they were competitive. It's hard to do. But with Cooper Rush, who's average at best, kind of just a game manager. So
we had a competitive team with Zach Wilson and Mike White and Josh Johnson and Joe Flacco.
We did for a little bit until wheels fell off. They were 7-4, and then you lose 6 straight. But I just think, I don't know. I would at least bring him in for an interview. I think you have to interview. You can't sit here and tell me that you're going to interview Mike Loxley and leave McCarthy out. Matt Campbell, you want to go after some other college coaches, fine. But the guys went 4-8 this year at Maryland. He had
probably did a favor for somebody, dude. It's probably like they did a favor for his agent or something like that. Or maybe they use him as maybe some part of somebody's staff or something. Because like a lot of these interviews don't have to be for the job that we think it is. It could be for something completely else.
Yeah. And that's another thing too, is there's a lot of people are like, oh, well, he hasn't gotten it done in the playoffs. Like, we're acting like the Jets are some prestigious organization here. We haven't been to the playoffs in 14 years. Again, to at least build a winning culture, get this team 10, 11 wins, get them on the right track, and then potentially get, build up the talent, potentially get your elite quarterback down the road and have that turn into something bigger than just making the playoffs every year. It's just,
the thing is, we've talked about it for the last 3 months about how we have a terrible culture here. Yep. You need a legitimate change. Like, you got to change and teach a team how to win, how to be winners, proper just work ethic, all this culture you need. And it's like you have guys that established it and been there, done that already to a very successful high level. That's what you need. It's literally sitting right in front of you. So, McCarthy's going to be interesting. I think they said the Bears are going to reach out to him.
Yeah.
So,
Bears and Saints, I think.
Yeah, I would be. The Saints.
Pete Carroll's interviewing with the Bears also, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pete Carroll. They interviewed their interim too.
Darnold just got
down goes Darnold. I've seen that before.
Oh, man. He just doesn't play well when we stream. I'm just convinced. We're bad.
He didn't play well when we didn't stream. He choked last week too.
It's not many Jets that play well during the streams.
Back to pass. Pocket collapse.
He had no chance on that one. They had 3 guys all over him.
These are all Rams draft picks too, which is the crazy thing. Well, there you go, Sam. 3rd and 21. This is called the draw play written all over it, or check down. What do you think?
This probably a draw.
We're that's this is Jets version. Sam Darnold right here.
This is it. Check down. They're punting. All right. He didn't see ghosts yet. He's just taking sacks. So as of now, we got January 13th. Who are your top 3? Your top 3 coach candidates, your top 3 both general manager and coach.
Coaching right now, top 3 would be, I'd go Flores, Glenn, and then after that, it's maybe Joe Brady, maybe
Wait, Flores is your number one?
yeah. I'm Flores and then Glenn. I'm with Tyson on that one.
Smart. You're a smart man.
GM, I still like Dimitrov a lot. I like Borgonzi, and I don't like Grigson. Oh no, the way it ended there in Indy was
Terrible.
Terrible. They
Draft
took
wrong.
a generational quarterback and
Destroyed
drove him right into the ground with no offensive lines. But so I'd stay away from him. I like Dimitrov a lot. I don't see it happening, but he would be like my number one. And I think Borgonzi. I like Borgonzi. I like the idea of Spielman. He would probably be 3. I think the whole idea of him kind of running the organization there during the whole Broad Holmes and Dan Campbell search, like you mentioned in your video, Tyson, with kind of being like a GM, president, football op guy that can oversee everything. I like that idea, even though he's a first-time guy. I'd be willing to take a chance on him, and Borgonzi would be like my top 2 first-time guys. And in terms of proven guys, it'd be Dimitrov.
But I mean, if you did Spielman, say he make him like the director of football operations, and he hires the GM, and they hire Aaron Glenn, you have all kinds of just good connections there, and you have faith because he's actually done it with the Lions. Like Spielman's story is really, really interesting. The more you dig around and like research him, he's got hands on every part of that Lions organization. He's involved in literally everything.
That's kind of the blueprint that we should be following too with the Lions.
100%. Like if you have that guy, so it's like they may have brought him in for the GM, but they may say, you know what, you want to be director of operations and bring in Agnew or bring in, like he has to have a vision for it. And you give him more power than he has with the Lions. He's like only like the, he's not the CEO, he's not the president. So you can give him that kind of role. The Jets don't have that now, like that legitimate football guy running football operations.
Yeah.
If Aaron Glenn gets you Spielman or Flores gets you Grigson, which combination are you going
Spielman, 100%. I'm all in Spielman, dude.
I would agree with that. Grigson, to me, there's just that retread option to me is one of the bottom ones. I would go with the first time. To me, Grigson, there's just a ceiling there with him. I think at least Spielman, you could feel like the ceiling's a little bit higher. The floor with 2 first-time guys is lower, but I'd be willing to take that risk at that point.
Also, because they're culture guys. So Spielman's a huge culture guy, dude. You figure Aaron Glenn, you figure they have to bring in somebody they're very familiar with, that they trust.
And I think too, if you're gonna pluck somebody from a winning organization or a team that's winning, ideally you pluck somebody from a team. Obviously the Chiefs or even Hallaby from the Eagles, those teams consistently win, but the Lions would be perfect from taking them from a winning organization and standpoint of they were in the same situation as us just a couple years ago. And they saw 2 first-time guys turn it around. They were inside those walls every day. Now they're the first-time guys here for an organization that's in the doldrums, just like Detroit was.
And that's the biggest point is he went to the Lions were just as bad as we were, if not worse.
Yeah.
So he knows where, they know what it takes to overcome that with an angry fan base, with the media always pounding. They knew all the facts they have. They know what they're walking into here. He's really interesting, dude. He is.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, if it's Grigson, Flores, or Spielman, Glenn, I'd have to go.
This Flores defense is getting shredded, bro.
Especially if
shredded.
We'll ignore that. We'll ignore that Aaron Glenn's defense got lit up by the Vikings.
I wouldn't say lit up.
Especially if they could potentially pluck some of offensive, defensive guys from Detroit staff as well.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. And then other than that, like to me, Dimitrov's been around a long time. You think if he really lit it up, you'd kind of think he'd be done already for some reason. Like it's just like he was
the first guy too. He was the first interview out of all of them.
Like if you have a guy that's a slam dunk that really like checks all your boxes, would you be really dragging it out this long? Because the longer you drag it out, like the one thing I worry about, like if you're really an Aaron Glenn fan, the one thing I'm worried about is he interviews with the Saints. They already have a front office in place. He already knows who he's dealing with. So if the Jets and the Saints make an offer, he'd be like, all right, who's my general manager? Who's my front office? Who's my scout? Like, who's all that? The Saints, he already knows. He's already been with the Saints. So he already knows what they're all about. Not having a general manager in place, like you kind of want to get this locked down. So when you make these offers, they know who their tag team partner is.
Unless you're going to promise him that you're picking from the Lions tree, somebody that he'd be comfortable with.
Yeah, I mean, but then hire him then. If you're going to pick him, hire him. Get it done.
Well, that's where you get now too, is you wish one of these guys would stand out enough where you're like, all right, he separates himself and hire him. So this process, you can get the GM in here and figure out the coach soon, because it's already, mid-January, and teams like you guys mentioned, Borgonzi, I think, is going for a second round soon. So yeah, ideally, even early in the process, ideally you'd hope that like a Dimitrov or one of those guys that interviewed really early on would impress enough where it's like, all right, we don't have to do a very extensive search from that standpoint, because this is a guy that's been there, done that. Feels like he shares a vision that we feel is positive as well, kind of similar to what he did in Atlanta, building that up in 2008 and onward. So it's interesting. I think they'll have a GM by, it's got to be the next 5 to 7 days.
I would think so.
It's got to be. I feel like by next Monday we could be talking about just honing in on the head coach. It feels like this week, hopefully.
I think the one thing to try and take advantage of too is that you can only interview guys on certain parameters. Like you had to wait for Glenn, you had to wait for Flores. So it buys you like a week or two to kind of get your extensive search done. But now that time is running out where it's like, all right, you've interviewed enough people. You have to have a feel at this point who you like and who you don't like. Get it done by the weekend. So when you start making offers and second interviews for coaches, you know, most importantly, that guy's actually in the interview. Yeah. Like see if you want to hire Spielman, great. Have like he obviously knows Glenn, but if you want to hire Flores, have Spielman interview Flores. Like have your general manager actually interview your next coach. That's kind of what I mean. Prime time. What do you think? Like that's kind of where I want to be.
Do you start worrying though? Like if you're looking to, let's say, go the Spielman, Aaron Glenn route, and they go all the way to the Super Bowl, and now you're waiting.
That's my concern.
And then they don't come here. Then what are you doing? You know,
and that's where I'm at. Like I'm rooting for Sam and stuff. And I'm rooting for the Lions. It'd be a cool story to see them go all the way. But selfishly too, it's like just get eliminated this week, and then so we could just move on with this process and get them hired and have the introductory press conference next week and get on with the offseason, figure out what you're doing at quarterback and all that stuff. But it's a good chance that's not going to happen.
Did the Vikings practice this week or?
And he fumbled.
Flores was too busy doing interviews.
Like they're not tackling. We got a 4th down.
You guys wanted to trade for Kevin O'Connell. The guy's terrible. Offense 3 and out. They got killed. Defense not prepared. Kevin O'Connell's horrible. What are we doing here?
Look at that tackle. Oh my God.
The guy we should be trading for Sean McVay.
This is terrible. I've seen this defense before. I watched this all year.
I'm pretty sure. Isn't that that's Kyron Williams, isn't it?
Yeah.
Notre Dame product is
running. Notre Dame guy.
That's right.
It's going to be 14
game this week.
10 minutes into the game.
21-yard line. This game's going to be over in the first quarter. Kevin O'Connell's horrible. You got to fire him.
No pressure.
Look at this. Look at this team. Keep going. This game is over.
This is the exact same defense I watched all year.
That's right. So they got to fire Kevin O'Connell. Add penalties. This is awesome.
They're coming back. Legal man.
Fire O'Connell and promote Flores.
That's right. The Vikings have got to fire O'Connell.
Great week of practice.
All right, Bub. So if you had to make a prediction right now, your final prediction for the Jets is going to be what?
I think it's going to be Flores and Grigson. That's what I think.
What?
It's not what I would go with Spielman.
I'll be unbearable. I will be unbearable.
I can't buy the Grigson thing at all.
No, I can't either. That's just what I think. That would be my prediction. But what I would rather would be Spielman for Glenn.
Yeah, I can't see Grigson happen. The Jets aren't that stupid. As dumb as they are, they're not that stupid.
What if that's who Flores wants, though?
I wouldn't have Flores. Flores isn't deciding it for me. You get your general manager first, and then he hires. That's why I want the general manager in place to actually interview the coaches we're interested in. There shouldn't be just one. You have to have like 3 or 4 final candidates, right, for second interviews.
We're probably going to have like 13 final candidates.
I mean, like you figure Joe Brady's going to probably do well. It's going to be Joe Brady, Flores, Glenn.
What would be like the biggest surprise for you?
Matt Nagy.
Oh, yeah. God. That would be terrible.
Or Bergonzi, Matt Nagy.
Borgonzi, Matt Nagy, or
Borgonzi, Matt Nagy. Yep.
Or
I'm just trying to pairing up the guys that are being interviewed that are both with the same team, like or if it's like Borgonzi and Spagnuolo, something like that. You're like, oh shit, like that'd be weird, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Borgonzi and either of them, the coordinators there would be. If they gave Spagnuolo the interview too, would be. I could see it, but I would not.
I could understand it, but it'd be hard to support it.
You can't go after Nagy and Spagnuolo, no way. He's just a good defensive coordinator. That guy's not a coach. No way.
You wouldn't sign up for Spagnuolo and Bergonzi?
I mean, I'd sign up for Bergonzi, not Spagnuolo. No, I wouldn't sign up for either Nagy or Spags. I go.
What if that's the coach he wants, though?
What do you say?
What if that's the coach he wants?
Borgonzi?
Yeah. What if he wants Spagnuolo?
And you go to try and get somebody else in here.
I mean, if you have no, don't fall for Kevin's trap. Do not fall for the trap.
If you're gonna hire like both of them, if you're gonna go Borgonzi, if you're gonna hire Bergonzi, assuming he wants Nagy or I don't want Nagy or Spagnuolo. No.
If you have the faith and belief in the general manager and you hire them, You can't say we like we like what you do. We're gonna force you to have the coach that we want, not the one that you want. You hire the guy. You gotta hire his coach.
Got to roll with it. You just have to trust him. Same thing with the decision with Rodgers.
But that's why it's kind of like right now when you're interviewing GMs and coaches simultaneously, it's that challenge because all right, you have your notes on say Aaron Glenn, but how do we know what Sullivan thinks about him, or how do we know what all the other guys think about him? We don't know. They have to have time to interview him. So that's the.
I think it's also more important for a first-time guy, like who their staff's going to be and who they're bringing with them too. That's stuff that we won't know either.
And there's also guys that we may not be interviewing yet that they actually like. But hey, listen, I want this guy. You haven't even interviewed him yet. Talk to who there's a lot of X factors with that.
Yeah.
So how's your channel doing, man?
Doing pretty good. Just waiting for this search to finally wrap up.
So how can people find you, man? Because Vanessa said we're not promoting you. We got to promote your channel. How do people find you?
Oh, no, you're good. You don't need to promote
Come
it.
on, you were giving you a chance here.
Yeah, it's just Bubs on Sports on YouTube here. So
not even like excited about it. I got Bubs on Sports. I'm like, dude.
Bubs on Sports.
I give you credit because you're still you're doing game previews towards the end of the season. I give you credit, dude. I wasn't previewing shit.
Yeah, those were painful. But yeah,
I was done with game previews by like week 7.
Yeah, I couldn't.
I
was completely tuned out.
I was almost there. It got to the point where most of it was just breaking down the draft, what would happen.
I couldn't take it seriously.
Given the daily.
So now, your plug right now is very disappointing. So we're giving you another chance. Give us your best promotion of your channel right now. Give us your biggest selling point.
Go. On YouTube, Bubs on Sports, and Apple Podcasts, all the different podcast platforms. It's In the Trenches with Gang Green on the different podcast platforms.
Right, let's talk.
On YouTube,
Bubs on Sports,
yes.
In the Trenches on YouTube. Give us a follow.
Give us some energy, bro. You can't be like melancholy. And I mean, what are we doing here?
Gotta get you out of your shell.
I mean, we got.
Jets broke me.
No, they can't. No, you can't pull a prime time now. It's a new year. This is Bubs on Sports 2025 now. Now you have a whole new energy. You're excited. Come check it out. I have all these breakdowns of general managers and coaches.
I'd be sounding like Bubs tonight if I didn't have a good date last night. So.
Uh-oh. See, now you told the chat. Now we get to find out. So where was the date at?
Well, that took a wild turn.
It was actually at a very fancy upscale restaurant in Morristown.
So wait a minute. Now the question is, I'm all about work, bro. I have no time to date. What changed that? What changed that situation?
Things happen for a reason, I guess. So somebody that I've kind of known for a little while, that like our friend groups were kind of pushing us to go out, and then somehow New Year's Eve we were eating the 12 grapes under the table. There was good chemistry, good vibe. So I finally, after 11 months, made the move. So
how'd you ask? Were you drunk when you asked?
A little bit.
Yeah. But you weren't sloppy drunk. You were coherent drunk.
No, yeah, I'm always coherent when I'm drunk, except when I'm on this channel.
All right, so you asked her out on New Year's Eve.
Wait,
you want to see the bill from last night?
No. But no. So you asked her on you said how long? It took you 12 days to get a date?
Well, we were talking every day. She was under the weather for a little bit, so
probably from your date. All right, so
not before that.
Now the problem I had with this is now that you've released this information, she's going to be a subscriber.
She already subscribed, I think.
And then if you fuck it up, we're going to lose subscribers. You're killing our subscriber count right now. You can't blow this one.
I bring him in though. I bring him in.
So now, if she follows the channel,
I think
what'd you tell her about the channel? Did you tell her what we do?
I told her not to listen. Yeah, she knows all about the channel. Apparently, she followed like a while back and was listening to some of the shows when she was waiting on me to make the move like 6 months ago, and I never did.
And why didn't you?
A lot of shit was going on. Very complicated. You know what was going on with my life.
All right, so you had the first initial New Year's Eve. Then you had the date.
Yep.
Is there going to be another date? How long you wait to ask her?
I hope so. I already said I already said I'm down for a second date. I think she's down too. So
well, you got to ask her. Did you send?
I don't want to be too pushy.
Just go with her follow up today.
Go with the flow right now. There's a good vibe, good connection.
Did you tell her I had a great time last night? I hope to see you again. At least say that.
Of course I did. Yes.
All right. Is
best
she a Jet fan?
Best date I've had in a very long time. So.
Oh, that's love. That's Bub. That's love. That's some love talk right there.
I don't know.
That's why he's smiling today. This fucking guy hasn't smiled in 6 months.
You're right. You're right.
Look, he's glowing.
Right.
You see the smile on his face right now?
Stop it.
So the question is the smile from Sam Darnold or is it from the date?
Could be both. Look at that throw.
All right. So now what's today? Today is Monday. Will you see her by Saturday?
I hope so. We'll see.
Maybe I make it happen.
I'm gonna try. I mean, I'm working every day, but yeah, Saturday I'll be around. So.
Work is you don't work at 24 hours a day. You got to find time for love, bro.
I leave my house at 6 in the morning. I get home at 8 o'clock at night.
Bro, I leave my house at 5:30 in the morning. I get home at 8 o'clock. I still have time to date. No problem. It's love. Because you snooze, you lose. Right. You don't want her to market, find other people.
This is funny. That's from it's from Martin, right? Player from the Himalayas.
No wonder he's so happy to turn the lights on. This is the happiest Primetime's been as long as I've known him on this stream. This is something interesting now.
You make me blush.
Primetime's going through the interviewing process right now.
Yes, got to do the second round.
Bubs, what do you think about Primetime's day here? Are you surprised? This is some breaking news.
Definitely a quicker interview process than the Jets got going on right now.
How's your dating life, Bubs? Any prospects for you?
He's a ladies' man. You could tell.
No, seems like it.
No.
You could tell. Look how shy he's getting right now. You could tell he's turning purple right now. Bro, you have that smooth face, Bubs. You could tell you're left a ladies' man.
Not there yet. No.
What do you mean not there yet? How old are you?
18.
Oh, bro.
That's like your dating prime, man.
You've been dating. You're just trying to be smooth.
Yes, and that's everywhere, like the Jets are doing. Wide net.
We're definitely streaming the wedding. When Primetime gets married, we're definitely streaming it. We will be there. I'll be live broadcasting, giving the commentary.
I'd be down for a wedding stream.
100% doing that. Me and Bubs will do it. We'll comment. Me, him, and Romeo. We look in the corner.
Wedding stream.
Play by play. Primetime. Walking down the aisle, looking nervous. He dropped the ring. Now he's scared.
I can only imagine the chat during that shit. Sam Darnold down again. Fuck.
He's used to that. Bubs, have a good night, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Have a good one.
Good night, Bubs.
Primetime, the sex machine.
Stop. There's no sex.
You brought this shit up, man. It's not our fault. You know what I mean?
I should have learned from the first time. You're right.
I know.
What's up? He's awake.
Yeah. How you guys doing? I'm surprised. Have you guys heard about my unpopular Tomlin take?
No, but I'm sure you're gonna share it.
I'm just gonna be blunt. I'm not a Tomlin guy.
Why? He wins too much?
I'm gonna point this fact out. So since the Steelers' postseason losing streak has begun, they've changed assistant coaches, they've changed coordinators, they've changed the players, they've changed the GM. Yet they still failed to win a playoff game. What is the one constant variable in that losing streak?
Not having a good quarterback.
No. They had a good quarterback in 2017. They had a good quarterback in 2017. They had the killer bees. What happened? Tomlin was busy talking about setting up the rematch with New England instead of actually worrying about the Jaguars, and they got their doors blown off.
Okay.
And then they did the same. And then they did the same thing again in 2020. The Browns is the Browns.
So the Jets who haven't made the playoffs in 14 years, we're going to criticize a coach that every single year that he's been a coach is over 500 and has made the playoffs how many years in the last however many years?
You want to coach whose fan base wants his head on a pike?
So when Andy Reid left the Eagles, how'd that end?
Here's the difference between Reid and Tomlin.
Okay.
Reid built Philadelphia. Tomlin was handed a roster.
What?
17 years later, though.
What?
He gets no credit for sustaining that winning culture over the course of almost 2 decades?
I wouldn't say it's a good culture in Pittsburgh.
You wouldn't say it's a good culture? Making the playoffs every year?
You wouldn't want Pittsburgh's culture with the Jets right now?
You saw how he handled the killer bees?
My God, bro. So you're going to tell me Tomlin, who's a very established winning coach, with a change of scenery, can't reinvigorate this franchise and install culture and a winning mindset with this team?
I wouldn't trust him.
Based on you wouldn't trust, and who exactly would you trust then?
But not like Tomlin.
No. Okay, you don't trust. You don't trust the proven winner. Who exactly do you trust then?
I'll trust Flores over him.
I'm done. I'm done.
This is what we're doing. And why would you trust Flores?
The thing is, Flores will chew players out. That's the thing. Look, like I said, Tomlin let the AB situation.
No. Why would you trust Flores?
You're turning Tyson against Flores now.
Look, I'm going to tell you the fact. Like I told you.
It's a simple question. You don't
Yeah,
trust
'cause Flores-
Tomlin. Why do you trust Flores?
Because Flores held his players accountable.
So what does Mike Tomlin do?
Look, if he held his players accountable, the AB situation would have never gotten to where it got.
It was fucking 8 years ago.
Yeah, and he still does that. And look what happened with fucking Juju Smith-Schuster doing the dances on the fucking logos.
Okay.
And like I said, you look at now George Pickens. He's like every wide receiver they pick up turns into a toxic diva.
I mean, wasn't Antonio Brown a diva with the Bucks also? Did he have issues with the Raiders when he was there? The Patriots? Like, he had issues everywhere he went.
Yeah, but you started out when he's but the problem started out when he was young.
So he learned his so you're telling me he learned his problems under Tomlin and then carried those with him everywhere else.
The problem started under Tomlin. Tomlin could have gotten them under control. I mean, look, here's what I'm saying. What has Tomlin done?
What has Flores done?
What has Tomlin done since he was handed that Bill Cowher's roster?
Win football games.
What, he won a Super Bowl?
Yeah, but what has he done in the postseason? Dude, you want a guy who's about the
Super Bowl. Like, what?
Yeah, and you want a guy who's about to tie Marvin Lewis from playoff utility.
So okay, so then do you want Mike McCarthy?
I take McCarthy over him.
What? What?
I don't know what to say.
McCarthy has won a playoff game more recently.
Oh, so now it's about recency.
How many playoff games has Flores won?
Well, I'll give you that. Look.
Okay.
Let's be real here.
We're being real, dude. We're being real. I promise you.
Look, I want to ask you though.
Ask me.
If like I said, if everything in the Steelers organization has changed, they've changed the rosters, they've changed the assistant coaches, they've changed the coordinators, they changed the GM, they've changed, like I said, everything has changed.
And they still keep winning football games. It's remarkable, isn't it? Must be a good head coach. They keep trying to find solutions.
But look, what is the Steelers standard? From 1992 to 2010, the Steelers won 8 AFC title games. They won 4. They clinched 2 Super Bowls, and they had a .583 postseason win percentage. When you have that level of excellence, what the Steelers are, by the Steelers' standards, they are crap right now. By their own standard, they are crap right now.
So
by the Steelers standard.
So what's the Jets standard right now?
Thank you. That was my next question.
But look,
no. Just answer the question.
Okay, look, we're a shitty team, but why do I want a team? Why do I want a coach from a team
that keeps winning?
Basically mid.
Because we're the bottom of the barrel right now. He's a proven guy that no matter what is going around
How do you know he can build a winning organization? How do you know he can build winning? Because, like I said, he was handed a winning roster.
Okay. So when you in your world, when you get handed a winning roster, that winning roster fades out over 2 or 3 years. So after the 14 years after that, pigs flying around like miracles.
Yeah, but you look at it. Well,
I'm looking at it. He kept winning.
Yeah, but what is the Jets' biggest problem right now?
Losing.
Offense.
And losing. They are a terrible organization that doesn't know how to play defense, offense, or run anything.
Their biggest problem is problem is culture. Their biggest problem is leadership. Their biggest problem is ownership.
And that's every problem with the Steelers right now. That's every problem with the Steelers. You just named it.
What, the Steelers' defense is a problem?
That's why they were in the playoffs.
Most expensive defense in the league. They couldn't tackle. They could not tackle.
First of all, TJ Watt was hurt. Second of all, they got to the playoffs.
And they played with
Russell Wilson at quarterback.
They played like a bunch of husks wearing Steelers uniforms.
So if we were the Jets right now, and we made the playoffs for the first time in 15 years, and we lost to a much better team, one of the best teams in the football, we'd be like, oh my God, we got to fire the coach?
No, it depends. Like I said,
it doesn't depend. The Ravens are a different class than the Steelers.
But they didn't even show up. Everybody said it. Everyone has said it. It looked like the Steelers weren't even there.
And that happens. And guess what? Your Mike McCarthy fucking team didn't show up last year either. Got blown out the building by Jordan Love. That's last year, bro. But you trust him more than fucking Tomlin? They got
Like I said,
embarrassed
Tomlin-
at home. Embarrassed
and
at home by
McCarthy
Jordan
won
Love in his
playoff
rookie
games.
year.
But here's the thing: it's a recurring trend with Tomlin. It's a recurring trend.
Or Kurt said with McCarthy too.
No, it is not, because look, all 6 playoff losses that he's had, they're all the same. They're all ugly blowout losses where his team is not even competitive whatsoever.
Okay, so then he needs to change the scenery. So he can come here with a whole new clean slate to try something different and try to win games here.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Look at that defense.
Brian Flores.
Oh, look at
out.
Mike.
Blake Cashman, the touchdown. Did you see that?
Blake Cashman. Jets could never stay
Holy
healthy with the
shit.
Jets. Could
Blake
never stay healthy with the
Cashman
Jets.
on a Jets.
No.
On a
I
touchdown.
told you, Brian Flores is legit, man.
like, look.
I didn't even see what happened. I just saw the end of the play.
So Brian
Wait,
Flores.
they're gonna
knows.
review. Let's see. Did he throw it?
No, it's not. He threw it forward.
I think that ball's coming out.
He threw it forward.
Did he?
Yeah.
Ah,
He flicked it. He flicked it.
Yeah, I think they're gonna
That should be
overturn
allowed.
that.
that shouldn't be allowed.
No, it's a pass.
Yeah,
right,
no, but like,
So now the question I have is, why did you spend so much time analyzing the Pittsburgh Steelers?
now it was one of the YouTube channels I follow. It's like
Jake,
no, it is
I heard you yelled at Jake. Is that true?
did he really?
Oh yeah, no, I got no you, Jordan, because like I said, I'm like Nick. I'm like I agree with Nick Shine. I'm not as like I said, I'm not like just like me and Nick Shine. We're not Tomlin guys. Neither of us are Tomlin guys.
What show did you guys fight on? I want to go back and watch it.
Jake show
Yeah,
What date?
yesterday.
yesterday I got frustrated. I face palmed so many times that I actually hurt
You just
my-
yelled at Tyson before too. You all right? Like you going through something?
Yeah, I face palmed so much that it actually hurt like right here.
Come on, bro. You hurt yourself? You need to promote self-care, man. You can't be violent to yourself.
Well, like I said, look, I respect your opinion.
I
Like
respect
I'm
yours,
saying
too.
is, and the other thing is, like I said, with the Steelers, how many offensive coordinators have they gone through?
And they keep winning. I'd rather, but you know what's funny? You know what's funny thing is? I'd rather have a head coach that realizes that the offensive coordinator blows, you need to make a change, than keep doubling down and being arrogant about it and keep running it back when it doesn't work.
You know, it wasn't Tomlin who fired Matt Canada. That was the ownership that did that.
How many offensive coordinators did Flores go through in his 3 years as head coach for the Dolphins?
That's a fair point. But like I said, look,
No.
but here's the thing: he fired them like immediately. But like I said, Tomlin's stubborn, and like I said, another thing is, I want to ask you: aren't you tired of conservative head coaches?
I'm tired of losing.
Yep.
I'm
And-
tired of a team that's a rudderless ship that has no leadership at all.
But here's
tired
the
of-
problem.
I'm
And-
tired of
and
a team that gets pushed around. I'm tired of
And
being
the
soft.
other problem with Tomlin, he overlooks teams that he perceives as inferior.
The bottom line,
Wait,
bro,
you're saying he overlooked the Ravens?
they were the better
He
team
has
by
a-
far.
Like, look, like what I told you, 2017 Jaguars. What was he talking about?
17, Jesus Christ.
Let me finish.
You're
it's a
talking about
recurring
8
trend.
years ago. I don't give a fuck about 8 years ago. Who
Let me-
cares?
Let me talk.
I'm
Let me
letting you
speak.
talk. It still makes no sense to me 8 years ago.
Yeah, but then he did it again in 2020.
Okay.
It's a recurring trend. Like 2017. Let me finish. He was talking about getting ready for the rematch with New England. His team gets his doors blown off by the Jaguars. Then 2020, division winner, getting ready for a matchup with the Cleveland Browns. What is his star wide receiver saying in an interview? The Browns is the Browns.
So now
And
he has to mute all his players and not let them talk. When the
No,
Steelers,
but like it
when the
says, you
Steelers are
don't-
known for bravado.
Yeah, but you don't say shit like that.
Bro, this is a new age of football, dude. They say whatever they want.
And then you look at it. And remember, he lost to Zach Wilson.
So many people did. So what does that mean?
And if you actually look at
Those are the Flores.
look throughout the
Didn't Nick Sirianni
look
lose
throughout every season with the Steelers, they always have a recurring problem. Where whenever there's a team that's on their schedule that Tomlin perceives as inferior, His team comes out as flat. They're
So,
not
so what you're
prepared.
saying is
make
they
mental errors,
never.
they make mistakes.
So in your world, the Steelers never beat a good team, or they don't get credit for that because they're supposed to do that, right?
And in spite of all those problems, every single year they're over 500.
So they must. So when they win 10
games
games a year, when they win 10 games a year, they must beat 10 bad teams.
No, I'm saying they overlook bad teams.
Do they overlook good teams?
They actually try against good teams. Like Tomlin's you look at it. Why do you want a coach whose fan base wants his head on a pike?
I don't give a fuck about opposing fan bases. What I care about is if I can give a chance to get a winning coach, I want the winning coach. Just
And
like
what
I
if
wanted
he
Sean
start-
Payton,
okay,
just like I wanted
you-
Jim Harbaugh.
And what I ask you, if the same type of problems that Pittsburgh fans are whining about
Sign
start
me
here-
up. Wait, he's going to win a Super Bowl in 15 years from now. I'm going to hate him? Okay, I'll
No,
take that problem.
I'm not
Take
talking
that
about
problem
this. I'm
anytime.
talking about
Let him win a Super Bowl here. I'll hate him in 10 years. No problem.
no.
Deal.
What I'm talking about is the problems that exist now, not like
So we're going to
you
ignore.
overlook certain teams.
So we're
He's
so
too
in your world,
conservative.
we ignore successes and only harp on the negatives because that's what you want to harbor on, right?
But you're only looking at one singular stat.
What?
You're looking at one
With the-
singular
what- the
stat.
stat?
and
No,
every
the,
other
the stat that happens every
has
year,
red
winning.
zone.
What's the stat that happens every year? Winning. Every year.
Like, I care about every other stat because it's more.
Yeah.
I don't want a mid team. I don't want to be mid.
I don't want to
I want to compete,
I don't want to be a loser
and he
anymore.
doesn't compete.
He doesn't. They get to the playoffs.
Yeah, and then every time he gets his doors blown off. Like, when was the last time he was competitive in a playoff game?
So you mean to say what happens now will never change. So if he goes somewhere else, it's gonna be the same thing there. It's never gonna change.
So you'd rather the guy that loses in the playoffs than the guy that hasn't gotten there as a head coach.
Like, what's the point of making the playoffs if you know you're going to get your doors blown off?
Oh, so
Like,
just-
Steelers
yeah.
fans are numb to it.
So
at this
let's just stay down. Yeah, we'll continue down the same path we've been on. 14 years. Let's make it 17, 18. We don't need to make the playoffs unless we're going to win. We don't need to make the playoffs. No.
Super Bowl or bust.
Honestly, I'm more of an Aaron Glenn type of guy anyway.
Why?
You can tell me on Aaron Glenn.
But no. You want proven, don't you?
Really, honestly, I can tell you, I feel like Glenn's going to be the guy anyway.
No. If you want proven, and what? So in your world, what is Aaron? Is Aaron Glenn a winner? What does he want?
I mean, look, we're probably not going to get a proven head coach. So you got to.
So no, we have a chance to get them, but you just don't want them. So you'd want Aaron Glenn over Mike Tomlin?
Yeah.
Wow. Would you want Aaron Glenn over Mike McCarthy?
I'd probably take McCarthy just simply for the case of the offensive background.
Not as extensive winning pedigree.
I mean, here's the thing: McCarthy's developed a quarterback. McCarthy played a key role in Aaron Rodgers' development.
Okay. Guess we have to agree to disagree, prime time. What do you think?
But look, can I get on my Aaron Glenn talking point?
Sure, go for
I
it.
mean, why not? I mean, this is your show. We're just here to hang out.
Well, look, I like Aaron Glenn. I like his scouting background. I think that's really good, helping with the team identify talent. And I think, I like the fact that he's a former player with the team.
As Sam Darnold gets killed. Good.
The Rams, I think, the Rams are just killing.
All right, so you like his scouting background. You like that he's a former player, an all-pro player at that.
Yeah, no, and I like, because one of the things I like about having a former player, especially when it's your former player, is how they handle division matches. How they're going to handle divisional matchups. Well, I
So
think
if you like former
every
players,
coach-
do you like Josh McCown?
No, look. Every coach is going to say you need to win in the division. Every coach is going to say that. But I think it comes from a different perspective when you yourself have played in those divisional games. Like kind of like how how Mike Ditka handled the Bears, like Bears-Packers games. Like when you watch those Bears, like
I get what this is. He wants Aaron Glenn because Aaron Glenn doesn't like the Patriots.
Exactly.
That's exactly what this is.
no, I'm not
exactly
saying
what this is.
100%.
That's all this is.
That's gonna be the next.
I figured it out. I
That's
figured
gonna
it
be his
out.
next talking point. Aaron Glenn turned down the Patriot interview. That's why I like him the most.
See? Yep.
Got him.
One, come on, you can't tell me that. You know that won him brownie points with a huge chunk of the fan.
No, it didn't. I just give him credit for recognizing the obvious. That Vrabel is going to the Patriots. Why waste my time and energy? Like Jet fans saying, go give Vrabel anything he wants when he's not going to come here anyway. It's obvious.
I'm just saying that.
Like Ben Johnson saying, no, I'm not coming to the Jets. No shit.
I'm saying the fact is, like, look, that's whether that's true or not. The fact is that won him brownie points with the fans.
Brownie points for what? Turning down an interview? Who cares? He didn't want to waste his time and energy because he has many other interviews to do. Anybody with two eyes knew that Vrabel was going to the Patriots. It was obvious.
I knew there was something behind that take. I knew it.
Ridiculous. Brownie points.
But I just finish what I'm saying. Can I finish what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
Well, look. The other thing I was saying is that, look, what I'm saying is nothing to do with the Patriots. Okay, it's just that
I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I'm just done. I can't do it anymore.
I was gonna let him go, but
no, I'm just done. I can't do it.
That already went a little too long.
I like that Tyson doesn't treat the coach. No, listen. I respect everybody, but I'm gonna challenge your takes. If you don't like it, there is something. If you don't like the show, go watch some others. I'm sure there's so many great channels out there. Stop watching. Unsubscribe. I don't care. My God.
No, you do a good job. You force people to defend their takes. Can't just come on here and
Christ.
speak nonsense.
If you want happy and rainbows and shit, go somewhere else. What do you want?
Happy and rainbows.
What's up, Afram?
Started nice. Started off good.
Good.
It's a disaster.
What can I tell you? Yeah. If he's yelling at Jake, what are you any different?
He got mad at Jake.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
Hello, Armin. Yeah, I saw that. That was not. He yelled at him. Let me talk.
He did.
Yeah.
Afram
He's
was like
close with Tyson tonight.
But he was like, Afram's like, you got to watch this. I'm like, what? He's like, I looked, I'm like, oh shit.
I never seen him get that angry.
Me either.
I'm definitely checking that out now.
Hey, look at Flores. He's making adjustments. His defense is picking up.
That's right.
Yeah, we would have waited a whole half with Salah.
That's true.
If at all.
It's just the offense has got to move the ball.
So now, Mike McCarthy, talk to me. Your thoughts?
I would interview him. I mean, I'm sure they reached out. They're just waiting for an answer.
Yep, I agree.
Just because it wasn't broadcasted or doesn't mean they didn't do anything about it yet. So
100%.
Let's wait till tomorrow. But why not? He's won everywhere he's gone. So
I agree. What do you think about Mike Tomlin?
Tomlin, yeah, definitely. Man takes what he has and he gets into the playoffs.
Oh, Sam. Oh, no. Oh, no, Sam.
I've seen this before.
Oh, no, Sam.
Going back to his roots, Sam Darnold.
The only difference, that didn't go to that wasn't a pick six.
I say if you got to give Sam Darnold credit, he goes from pick sixes to just interceptions. He's lessening the damage.
He just can't handle us streaming his games.
Right, the numbers. Woo. That's almost like an Aaron Rodgers special right there, isn't it?
That was a 2020 throw.
It's going to lower his payday.
Same old Sam.
Yeah. It's still 10-3.
JJ McCarthy era starts now.
I wish there it is. I was waiting for these.
Damn it! I hate you guys. Who is it that brought the ghost sign when we were in Carolina?
It was Balls.
Yeah, where's he been?
I don't know.
Him in a while.
That was funny as hell. Him and Snoopy.
MIA.
So Afram, you don't like Tomlin, McCarthy. You like Flores?
I like Flores, but no, if I could get Tomlin, I'd go after Tomlin.
What would you give up in terms of?
I don't think they're going to let him go.
No. And if he had a choice to be traded somewhere, I'm sure the Jets aren't going to be high on his list. He wants to go to a team with a quarterback. He wants a chance to win.
Everybody wants to go to a team with a quarterback.
True. I agree.
That's unfortunate. But when there's a coaching position available, it's usually a team that doesn't have a quarterback. So it's
no, you got the Bears, you got the Jaguars.
Yeah. But they didn't give got to worry about those teams. If you don't get instant satisfaction with some of these owners, you don't last.
What about Josh McCown?
No.
I agree.
I bet.
Offensive coordinator, at least, or no?
No.
No.
Not an offensive coordinator either.
No. Just doesn't
What?
have enough years of experience.
I disagree with
Wow.
that.
Yeah, no. That I just listen. You want guys with experience. You should also have guys with experience on your coordinators too. Right?
Yeah, but if you have Flores as your head coach, who's an experienced coach, and Josh McCown, a rising star as a offensive guy,
Yeah. Would you take a Peterson or McCown?
Peterson.
I'd probably swing and go McCown, honestly.
There's no swinging.
No.
here.
But
No. Hold on.
Can I explain why though? I would take Peterson because I think Josh McCown, after one good year, will probably leave.
Yeah.
That's the one thing where I don't think Peterson probably get a chance. Like he may just be resigned to the fact that I'm a coordinator.
Exactly. Because I don't think he's going to get another head coaching job. This is the second one.
McCown will be gone in 2 years. Like, oh, rising star offensive coordinator, out he goes.
And now you have consistency.
Exactly.
Okay. And then you have Flores running the defense, or he's got someone that he'll work with who'll run his defense for him.
Ulbrich.
I don't know about that.
Come on, man. He's a nice guy.
He is a nice guy, and so is McCown,
Very
but we
nice
can't
guy.
base everything
Terrible
on nice guys.
I'm a nice
You know?
guy.
Except when V-Man.
I'm a nice guy too, but no one's giving me a head coaching position.
Well, you know what? Put your name out there more. We'll get
No, I don't think
we'll get a hold of one Jets drive for you.
That's all. Yeah, I'll be right behind Loxley there. I'll tell him I'm Robin of Loxley. I'm the Robin Hood.
So now, are you concerned about the general manager search taking too long?
Yeah, I've been everything. I think it's I thought they would make, but I think they're just waiting. And,
For what?
Guys to be able to interview, but at some point, if guys are getting second interviews at this point, you got to be a bit concerned.
Especially when Tennessee's already on their second already, with the Jets are still on their first.
Yeah. So I mean, are you going to interview 1,000 guys, and that's going to consume all your time? And these guys are going to end up going just like when we were dealing with Gase.
Yep.
When we got Gase, waited. No, this, and guys were getting picked one at a time because probably didn't want to pay anybody, and then we had to settle for Gase or
Kind of like now. They don't want to pay anybody.
They want to pay.
they'll pay if they.
That's why all the prominent guys are not interviewing.
Vrabel interviewed.
That was the one,
Listen,
yeah.
Hey,
There's
prominent
also-
guy.
there's- and I read this. There's a lot of times they don't want. They know the guy's not going to come, and so they're not going to broadcast it that they told me no,
Bingo.
because now that
embarrassing.
means that the next guy is going to say, "Why is this guy not want to come here?" This and that. So
Yeah. So
you don't
instead of
want to have a negative.
At what point do we stop taking no for an answer though and try to sell these guys?
you can't force
You
them.
can. What?
Dude, I hate if I don't want to coach your team, you can't force me. I'm out. I'm not interested.
But don't you at least try to put the ball in their court to
Yeah, you
turn
did.
down a mega contract?
No. You put little feelers out there. Hey, we're really interested. We're willing to pay. No. Okay.
He's got Rabel's got history there, and he's got a quarterback to work with.
I'd rather go the route of just knowing that Ben Johnson didn't want to come here than having the Patriots where Aaron Glenn turned him down. Like, it's it's just obvious.
I'd rather get rejected.
No.
I'd rather have a guy,
You're
barring-
getting rejected. I'd rather be private than public.
No,
Yeah.
get rejected with a legitimate offer on the table, something that far exceeds whatever else is
Let's
being
make a
offered.
The
by
thing is,
other
but if
teams.
you're
Make it
Ben
different.
Johnson, you're
Make
getting
it
a
down.
legitimate offer anywhere. If you don't have the quarterback, I'm not coming here. The money's going to be there no matter where they go.
If he turns you down, he turns you down. But at least you made your effort. At least you tried to get the top guys.
What's that? What does that do? Does
Shows
that
that you're serious.
does that
Shows
resolve your
that You're
issue?
serious about trying to turn this shit around.
Does that resolve your issue?
Leave no stone unturned for the.
So but they're getting turned down. So whether
Yeah,
they
turned
reached
down.
out officially or privately, they got turned down. There's a reason why they're not on the list. If the top candidate's not on your list, it's for a reason. They don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Monken, Cohen, Ben Johnson, it's all for a reason.
They could have turned around and say, "Hey, this is what I want."
You ask a girl out, she says no the first time. You really like her. You persistent? Do you keep trying to ask and you
I'm
try to do
out.
some things to change, or you just
I'm
out?
not no stalker creeper. I'm out.
Don't like me the first time.
Pride time's like, let me buy you $1,000 dinner. Make sure you don't like me. Then you lose the money and you still don't get what you want. Why do it? Why even waste the money? Not happening.
The thing I like about Flores is he's got a chip on his shoulder.
I'm just happy to see Primetime. This date must have been good because Primetime smiled all
Yeah,
day.
no, I'm
was,
telling
it
you.
was.
Look,
This is the most he smiled in a
happiness,
long
the
time.
glow behind him has lit up his room.
Yeah. You know
from
what?
his
It's not.
happiness.
It's not even the light. It's just smile is lighting up the room right now. It's not even the light.
That's
in the
what I'm
room.
saying.
Yeah.
The aura.
Made some changes in
that's-
the new year. Not smoking anymore.
See
Was-
that?
I'm
You were
in
a
a good
smoker?
mental place right now.
Yep.
What's up?
He was doing a pack of Marlboro a day over there.
No. I've never smoked cigarettes in my life, but weed to help me get to sleep. a
Ripping
little
down the
bit.
sticks. He was.
Weed to help you go to sleep.
Yeah. I have issues getting to sleep. So that was helping me for a while, but
Do what
Not healthy.
Tyson does. He just drinks
What are you
Could be
talking
that
about? I
too.
drink water, bro. This is
my
water.
lungs, liver, whatever.
water in the special
bro.
can.
When Truly never didn't sponsor us, I had to just. I'm not
That's
getting no more
true.
free publicity.
That's true.
Screw them.
Thank
So
you.
what's your prediction now? We're doing a weekly prediction. January 13th, the Jets general manager is going to be who?
I'm going to
Jesus
say.
Just take your time, man.
Right. Hold on.
By the time you answer, we know the interception for Darnold.
By the time I answer, I got plenty of time because they haven't made the decision yet. So I don't even remember who they. If it is a Dimitrov, it's probably the one at this point. But I'm
Dimitrov, you think it is?
possibly, yeah,
I feel like that would have happened already. I don't know.
Yeah, me too.
yeah. But I think he's like that standby. If I can't find something better, I'll take this one. You know how they play.
Oh,
But
okay. And
as
who's
far
going to
as
be the
head
head?
coach?
Yep.
I think Flores is the right person.
So are you rooting for the Vikings to lose tonight so you can get a good interview tomorrow and hire him?
You know something? Even if he has a good interview, I don't think they'll hire him right on the spot.
Good. I hope not.
What are you going to wait for? Like 2 weeks?
I don't know, but it just seems that's their MO. Unless something really he blows their mind completely, or the 33rd team says, "Hey, this is the guy you need." These guys
Is
never.
Johnson even going to listen to who they recommend?
I don't know what Woody Johnson is.
Of
He's
course he
listening
is.
to Brick.
It's a changed regime now.
Yeah.
We're new and approved.
But I like the Spielman thing about the director of football operations.
Yeah,
that's what they need as well. They need a better organization hierarchy.
Separate football from the business side, and that's the perfect way
Right.
to do it, man.
Exactly, and then let him run control of the GM, and then the.
Everybody reports to him, then he reports to Woody.
And I think that's the thing that I didn't care much about JD. He didn't pull in, as far as we didn't hear. He has never pulled in solid and say, "Hey, you got to do this. You got to do this. You report to me." I don't see results. He let him run free, and I think that was the wrong thing.
Did he have the authority to do that though?
Yeah, what he told him,
We were
he
told
picks the
that.
GM.
Did
If
he
he hires the
actually have the
coach,
authority to do that?
if he hires the coach, he should be, he reports to him. And if he doesn't, then if he says something and the other guy says something, I'm sure Woody would have straightened the whole thing out and say, "Hey, yeah, this is the hierarchy," but it never got there. So
This has got Sam pick 6 written all over it right here. Third and long,
Third and long?
third
Oh,
and 3.
third and 3.
That's manageable.
Not bad.
yeah, but the fact that they got the ball back after the pick, that's
Yep.
defense, baby.
Big drive
Third-
from Sam here. I feel.
Third and 3. Deep in his zone. Where's he on? Like the 15-yard line? Where are they?
Yeah, they're back though.
Oh, this is definitely a pick 6. This is
No,
the
this
game
is a
ender
big
right
time
here.
throw right here.
This is the game ender right here. He's going to
Big
choke.
time throw right here.
Probably going to trip over his sneaker.
And don't you think Flores wants to be back in the AFC East?
100%.
He might want to. I don't want him back in the AFC East. Not with the
Well, he's
Jets.
not asking you.
There you
Oh,
go,
big
Sam.
time.
Look at
There
that.
you go.
Look at that.
All right, the drive is still alive. Oh, Afram, it's good talking to you. I'm glad to see that you were able to see Primetime smile tonight.
Yeah, no, I don't think everyone is happy to see him smile.
It's only been a year.
Till they hire.
And remember, it's Bubs on Sports. Okay?
Have a good night, man.
You too, man.
Have a
Be
good night,
well.
Afram.
All right. Chris Shula, first season as Rand defensive coordinator. Fire that guy.
He's not doing bad right now. 3
Can't
points.
get lit up by Sam Darnold. We know what he is
They've given up 3 points.
so far. It's unacceptable. It's 3 too many. We have high
Good
standards here,
luck.
Primetime. We look for shutouts. That
There
came
you go.
Akers?
Look at that. Oh shit.
Jesus.
Big run. Was that Akers?
Is it?
I think so. Yeah, that was Akers.
Looks faster than Brees. I'm just taking shots at everybody. I don't care. Javid lost interest. All right, Javid, fine. You know what? We're not gonna show any more of your messages. He was sitting in the studio waiting and lost patience. Now he's out. Now he's blocked.
I respect Brees again. He stood up for Rodgers.
Oh my God! And Quinn Williams is campaigning for Aaron Glenn.
You saw the video of Rodgers crying after the game?
No, I didn't watch any of that shit. Was he crying?
Broke my heart. Yeah.
I should have played better.
They fumble?
Yeah, they fumbled.
No way.
Yes, they did.
Oh, the Rams got it. Holy shit.
The Vikings.
Vikings are just melting down.
What is Mike Tomlin coaching this team? They're not ready for this game.
I don't think they got over last week with the Lions.
He's down. His knee is down.
Yeah, you're right.
His knee's down, though. Wow. All right. What's up, man?
Hey guys, sorry, slight delay here. Interesting week, anyhow. Unfortunately, my brother lives in Pacific Palisades, and his house was totally wiped. His whole neighborhood. It looks like Dresden after World War II.
That's terrible.
Yeah, he's lived there for like 30 years. He bought an old bungalow house. They renovated it, expanded it, and
that's terrible. Sorry to hear that. Yeah,
So I look at a game like this. If I don't seem, as hyped up on things, you know why. I mean, even though obviously, I'm safe and everything else, but it's awful. It really is awful.
That's terrible.
Yeah, but life goes on. But I mean, but anyhow, with the whole mess going on here, it's interesting with McCarthy because I am against him, but I'll tell you why. I think that he can win. He's shown he can be a winning coach. I think the cultural things won't be a problem. The problem with McCarthy is he won't give up the offensive side, and that's what bothers me because he's not an offensive mind. He's very basic. His play calling during a game is very conservative. He's another person. You get a 4th and 2, he's going to go for the field goal or punt it. You're going to see him play for field goals.
They put up some big points with the Cowboys, though, man. They put up some big numbers with the Cowboys.
I mean, he also had real talent there, but I'm just saying, I think his schemes and everything else. I think there's a reason why they didn't get through the playoffs. Playoffs is a different kind of thing. It needs adjustments. You need to change your game plan. You need to change things. I don't know if McCarthy can do it. Now, if you brought in an offensive mind to be the OC and said, look, handle it. Put it this way, Kellen Moore was there, right? Look what he's doing with Philadelphia. And they got rid of him. Because
you don't think the Jets offense has more talent, though, than the Cowboys right now?
The Jets have enough talent that they can build it. I mean, I think the Cowboys had a little bit more talent, but again, I just think that you need somebody there because my take on all this, I'm going to tell you right now, Mike is an offensive guy, but he's also like 30, 40 years out of date, quite honestly. He's running a straight, West Coast.
A lot of football games, man. They want to best.
I know. He's a winning. But here comes the question: do we want? And I know, by the way, there's no right answer to this, and I certainly don't have answers. But if you think about it, do you want a guy think about Marvin Lewis, right? How many years did he go to the playoffs with Cincinnati, and they never got any? Do you want that with the New York Jets? Now you can say, well, if we hire McCarthy, he'll turn things around, he'll turn the culture around. But let's say 4 or 5 years, maybe we do make playoffs. Are you going to be happy with that?
Well, that's got to be the first step, in some ways. That's got to be the first step, though, right? We haven't been there in 14 years.
Yeah, but the problem comes in if you've got a guy who has a track record and this is where I'm coming from with this. If you've got a guy that's got a track record where he's a winning coach, and Tomlin, by the way, this applies to Tomlin as well. I don't think he's coming, by the way. I don't think Pittsburgh's trading him. That's not how Pittsburgh operates. They're going to keep him. But with McCarthy, do you want somebody where you comfortably know that he's produced winning teams, but yet in the playoffs loses constantly?
But that could be. But the thing is, anything can happen in the playoffs. What if that changes? What if he makes the playoff? Oh, Sam fumbled.
No.
This game is over, my friends. Sam Darnold strip sack, touchdown Rams. The route is on.
Sam is reverting to form.
So Sam had a pick and now a fumble, and this one cost him 6.
Good old days.
This is the Sam Darnold that we've known so many times before.
This is like PTSD for me right now.
With McCarthy, right? If you look at his record, so yeah, I mean, he's a winning coach. There's no doubt about it, right? Yep. He was able to, with Dallas, to take a crappy quarterback and actually win some games with him and stuff, which is a plus. But you can do that playing ground and pound. You can do that with a lot of things. So I'll give him credit for that. But the question is, can he develop a team? Does he have the coaching ability to go into the playoffs, and then let's say you're
But see, the
facing
thing is,
something.
but the thing is, you already have at least a foundation, a blueprint of you know what he can do. If he makes some adjustments and it does start winning the playoffs, you hit the home run. If you
Yeah,
hire
but can he make adjustments? That's the thing. And I don't, with McCarthy, I really question that. That's why I
that's
am
fine.
not.
But then it's also, but he also is getting you into the playoffs. So now you know what is your floor. Your floor is okay. We have a guy that's going to turn things around and get you potentially into the playoffs often.
No
okay?
argument.
So
No
then
argument at all.
your ceiling is maybe that's all he can do, or it could be higher than that. Maybe he gets that break that gets you further, as opposed to unproven guys. You're taking a huge chance on that you hope they can even get you to the playoffs, where you know that McCarthy can.
It's a crapshoot. I mean, no, you're right, and that's the thing. It's a crapshoot, and it's looking and saying, okay, what's somebody going to do? And obviously, you don't know with a first-time guy, right?
Yep.
I mean, I keep hearing people, which it drives me right up the wall. I'm sorry. I keep people talking about Liam Cohen with Tampa Bay, which after this last game, I don't know if they're going to be saying it anymore.
Nope.
But the point is, he's probably a very talented offensive guy. Don't get me wrong. Give him a couple of years. The guy has 2 years in the NFL. That's it. And as a head coach, we don't need an X's and O's, guys. We need a head coach. McCarthy is a head coach. I think with McCarthy, I would want it where they tell him, look, you're coming in here. You're not calling the plays. You're not the offense. I'm bringing in an offensive coordinator. Take the job or not. Because his offense isn't all that much more advanced than Hackett's.
But that's fine. So if you say, okay, McCarthy comes and he brings in Josh McCown as his coordinator. Okay.
I mean, again, this is where you need a GM in there too, because obviously you can veto it and say, we want to bring in a guy that's an offensive mind. We don't want you bringing, because if he brought in Josh McCown, I like Josh McCown.
My point was McCarthy brings in a legitimate offensive coordinator. Then what's the argument against them then?
Is he a legit? Yeah, but McCown's not a legitimate offensive coordinator.
Okay, get North Turner. I'm just giving you names.
Name your
favorite one. Make it that guy.
Let's say he hires someone that we think, yeah, then I would be fine with that. As long as, but he can't do the play calling.
But the same can be said for a lot of coaches. If Brian Flores hires a very good offensive coordinator, I'm sure Primetime feel a lot better about him. If Aaron Glenn's time, it's all about who's on your staff.
Yeah, but it's different. See, the difference is Mike McCarthy, right, has shown, and this has been true at Dallas, everywhere else, he wants to call the plays. He wants to be the play caller. Jones at one point forced him to hire an offensive coordinator. I think when they hired Moore, if I remember correctly, because McCarthy, he didn't want him calling because he said that he felt that McCarthy was limiting the offense. And then he went back to doing it. McCarthy wants to, and I don't think as an offensive play caller. Plus, I think McCarthy can be much more of a CEO head coach. I think I don't have problems with him with culture. I don't have problems with him a lot of things. I think he'll handle that. You're right. He can handle a difficult owner. Jerry Jones is even worse than Woody in one way because Jerry Jones likes the spotlight. So he's even more difficult to deal with. He can handle media because Dallas is a tough market. It's a tough market. People there expect a lot. So there's all these pieces to it. So I think he'd be good that way. But it's going to be in the offense. And if you ask me now who the heck I want as a head coach, I'm getting to the point I'm starting to scratch my head and say, you know what? It's hard to tell. They haven't interviewed Monken. So I think he's out of it.
Yep.
I still like Aaron Glenn, but again, I understand what you're saying. He's a new head coach, and therein comes the problem. He's an unknown. And it's going to come down to, do we take the risk on an unknown? Can he handle all the pressure of being a head coach? I think he can, just from his attitude and the way he is. But you know what? You never know. Versus the guy who's proven but has got a relatively low, what I think can be a relatively low ceiling, which might be a McCarthy. So at this point, it's up in the air. Honestly, of all the people that are interviewing, I told you I want Spagnuolo, but again, he has the same problem because he had been a head coach. He wasn't successful, but if he hires a good offensive coordinator, he's a great defensive coordinator. And I think he could be a CEO head coach. Plus, coming out of Kansas City, he's been enough around that culture there that he's going to be there. And there's another piece to this too. It comes down to handling Woody. This is most of my big concern. It's my big concern with a first-time head coach. I don't want anybody coming in here kissing Woody's ring because he got a job. Yep. And that's what Salah was like.
Well, that applies to the general manager too.
And that's true in the general manager too. And with general managers, I'm really hoping it is an experienced guy. I mean, the guy in Kansas City.
Is Woody just going to hire somebody that's going to be a yes man for him, though? Like, that's what you worry about, I feel like. Yeah.
Doesn't say what he always wants. That's what he wants.
If that's the case, we're screwed.
Even though he's backed into a corner, that's what he wants. He ultimately wants somebody. And one of the problems with his current method of hiring, interviewing everybody under the sun is you're going to get to the point where he's going to sit there and say, well, there's no perfect candidate, so I'm going to hire Joe Blow over there. And, we're giving a new guy, but we figure maybe he'll bring a new attitude to things. Meanwhile, he's hiring because he figures he can push him around.
I mean,
And that's something McCarthy won't put up with.
I mean, they've had a pretty comprehensive list, and a lot of these guys are really qualified, man. I mean, they're really good resumes based on what's available. And if you have any questions, like why didn't you interview Gruden or Pete Carroll? But
no, I mean, look, Gruden. I like Gruden. I like his personality. He didn't do that well in Las Vegas. And if he comes in and the other thing is Gruden comes in and demands full control, I wouldn't let him have it. After his thing with Las Vegas, with having Mayock in there as a GM, I mean, that was a disaster area, showed lack of judgment. And also Gruden is one of those people. He came in, he's kind of like Rex Ryan in a sense, because when he took over Tampa Bay, he took over a team that was already a winning team. It was built by Dungy. Yep. And he went in there and won a Super Bowl.
He won with the Raiders before that, though.
Yeah, but he never won a Super Bowl, did he? I think he was a winning coach, but the point is you got to be careful with him. I think he knows the game. I don't have a problem with him being out of the game because I think he analyzes to the nth degree. I just don't think he's going to be in here. Pete Carroll, maybe for president of operations or something like that, not as a field guy. For a lot of reasons. I don't think he wants it either, to be honest with you. Maybe he does. I doubt it. But I think in the long run, what's concerning me now is you can get into interview. I'm trying to think of the term. There's actually a term for it. I've seen this at work when we're trying to interview for a job and we keep interviewing and you get paralysis. And then you end up satisfied.
Paralysis by analysis, right?
Basically, thank you. I couldn't think of it. That's it. Paralysis. And that bothers me too. I'd like to see him hire a GM. I'd like to see it be one of the guys like Dimitrov or maybe the guy from Bergoni, whatever his name is, from Kansas City.
Berganzi,
thank you. From Kansas City. I'd like to see an experienced guy. And of all of them, Dimitrov, I think, to me, because in some ways he was a victim of something. He was a victim of that Super Bowl against New England, and that wasn't his fault. That actually was Kyle Shanahan, by the way, but that's besides the point. They blamed Quinn, too. That was
Kyle
it's funny.
Shanahan. It was like I was going to bring up Kyle Shanahan next to V-Man, but he pissed me off so much I didn't get a chance to get to him.
Yeah. No, Kyle Shanahan was really why they lost that Super Bowl, but that's beside, it was his mistake. But the point is that I think Dimitrov, I'd rather see a hire the GM because I also want people to have to work together and they have to be on the same page. And this hiring separately doesn't work. It really doesn't.
So what's your prediction now? January 13th. Who's the GM?
I'm hoping they go for Dimitrov, but right now I don't have a clue.
All right, So
Dimitrov. Put it this way: if they hire Grigson,
no, we're not going that. Just I want your prediction. We're going to go week by week. So Dimitrov, who's the head coach?
I think right now it's going to be Aaron Glenn.
All right. Well, thank you. Each week we're going to do that. Thanks for calling in, man.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good day. You too. So now, I guess we have to let him on because he was in the studio, but then he dropped off because he's obviously too busy for us. But I know he's going to have some excellent commentary on Sam Darnold, so we got to bring him on for that.
Well, I wasn't too busy.
Darnold's number one hater right here.
I wasn't too busy for you guys. How you doing? I had to step out for a bit, so I didn't want to get empty screened, because I know you would do that if I just left it on here.
I would never do that.
Yeah, I've been in the stream watching that happen.
You know what's interesting, Primetime? He has the same smile that you have, so you're both in love. I can see
you
it.
Must be dating somebody. Yep.
You hasn't met my girlfriend.
That's right.
Oh, you're still with her? Congratulations, man.
How long has it
That's
been?
why you're smiling.
It's gonna be 3 years in February. So.
Look at you.
You saving up that ring money, or?
That's right. Speaking of ring money, did you see who's on the ground again?
Yeah, Darnold is literally.
This is almost like abuse. I think it's 6 sacks in the first half.
I said in the chat, he's taking more sacks than Shedeur Sanders.
Kevin O'Connell prepare his team. What's going on here, man? Brian Flores has got to get out of there.
Every stream that we watched in
Brian Flores has got to get out of there. This coach is killing him.
The carriage turned back into a pumpkin. Yeah.
Poor Sam.
George Kittle's number one hater. That's funny.
So talk to us about some coaching here, man. Who do you want to coach the Jets?
Okay. I think right now, obviously, we know Vrabel was like the dream guy, at least what we were first looking at. For me, I think what's really growing on me is Glenn.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. Unlike you, Tyson, I don't have like the, I was pretty young when Glenn was like still playing here, so I don't have the, your connection where you've mentioned that, because you've seen him here and you loved him as a player, you kind of don't want to see that, and I kind of get that too. Like if Revis were to come back and become the head coach and be dog shit, I'd be like,
yeah, to me, Aaron Glenn's done things the right way, climbed the ladder the right way, excellent resume, great player, aspiring. Like, it's just like to have him, like, do I have his jersey? Like, to have him come here and be the coach, I'd hate to see him fail because you just break your heart. You're like, God, like, he's a good, like, one of the good guys you want to see do good things. I hate to see it go wrong for him here. That'd be my problem.
I get that. And so, but for me, it's like, I'm not, I remember when during the season, you're getting like caught up in the discussion about first time head coaches or like OC, DC, all this stuff. But I think the way I view it now, I'm thinking about it a lot, is it was just.
I guarantee as soon as we turn the stream off, Darnold's going to go off in the second half. I guarantee you. Got the Vikings money line second half.
The only thing that can ruin primetime smile is watching Sam Darnold just get melt right here.
This is crazy.
Yeah. So,
all right. So you like Glenn? Who else? Who's your top three for coach?
I feel about like the coaching right now is I'm not too focused too much on whether a guy has experience or whether a guy has the perfect background in terms of like OC, DC, whatever. You just need to find the right person, and the right person can be an OC. The right person can be a DC. If you find that right coach, they can be first time, second time, doesn't matter. That'll be the guy for you, right? And when you look around the league, you can look at successful coaches like freaking Harbaugh, who was a goddamn special teams coach. He was the right guy. He's the right hire. So you really just need to find that right person. So if Aaron Glenn is that right person, like he's like the idea, like I'm watching the, the clips and stuff. And it's not just the fact that, his defense is playing well. Because if you asked me, when with all their injuries, you'd expect them to not be playing well. So the fact that he's able to, it's not just about X's and O's. It's about motivating his players to play well, because I don't think obviously there's just guys and stuff, but they play a lot of man. And at some point when you're playing with such backups, it's like you're either able to get the most out of these guys or you're not.
You got to adjust.
I think that's not. Yeah, I think it's not just like an X's and O thing. I think it also is the fact that you can get these guys and galvanize them. And so looking at Dan Campbell being successful in Detroit, and I'll be honest, I was so wrong on Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell was hired. He comes in talking about the biting kneecaps bullshit, and he's doing all this nonsense. And I, like everyone else, I'm laughing at him. I'm thinking they hired the Saints freaking tight end coach / assistant head coach. He's not a coordinator. He's a former Lion player, but what the hell is this guy going to do? And he came in there with and he understood the franchise. And you can also point to moves like Spielman in the GM office. I mean, in the front office, but we'll get to that later. But he understands the team. He understands like the vision, the atmosphere that they needed.
Right.
And he brought that attitude
his defense
and he cared about the franchise, and he brought that attitude to the team. I really don't like the Vikings losing here.
They're getting their doors blown off. Kevin O'Connell is so overrated.
What I was about to get to is I'm not. I like Flores. I kind of don't want him to be our head coach, and I kind of worry a little bit. Just I know we're doing the whole expansive search and shit, but there's a world where, say they lose, and obviously he'll be eligible to be hired, and you get into a point where you're just like, you just pull the trigger because you don't know what's happening with Glenn and the Saints. But I think the fact that Glenn's he's there for this whole culture reshaping and looking around the NFL, there's like the three bottom cultures around the time was the Lions, the Browns, and the Jets, and
the Commanders.
Well, yeah, but the Commanders they clean house in a way we can't do. So
right,
when getting rid of Snyder is not something that it's not going to happen with us unless someone's got Woody's emails and wants to leak them. I don't know.
I'm down for that.
Just send them out. I'll take them. But
so what do you think about Josh McCown?
If you think he's the right guy, you hire him. Because
what do you think about him?
Better to be early than
There's
late.
a chance. I agree with that. Because the idea of like, if you really think like you love McCown and you're like, this is our guy, and you bring him in for as OC under Flores, and he's gone in a year, and he's off gallivanting, being a great head coach somewhere else, and you're thinking like, we've interviewed this guy, we really loved him, we just didn't want to actually make him thing. I mean, have the balls to stand to stand behind the decision and feel that, right? Like that's what our franchise needs right now. We need to.
But are the Jets in the position to take that risk, though, knowing that everything that's at
We're
stake?
already asked. Why can't we take the risk?
I think Flores is a bigger risk, honestly.
Flores is a bigger risk than McCown?
I think so. I think so.
I'm kind of, I'm not gonna lie, Tyson. I'm really not big on Flores right now. In that,
it's fine.
As a candidate, I'm fine with him. There's a part of me that's just like, I said this back when we hired Gase, and not just because I thought Gase was shit, because I don't think the same thing about Flores that I think of Gase. I don't want, head coaches from like I agree with that, Afrin, but I think Glenn might have what it takes. But I don't want head coaches like from another team in our division. Like, part of me just feels like a little bit of a way about that, and maybe it's kind of dumb. I don't dislike Flores. Like, if Flores gets hired, I'm not going to.
You wouldn't have wanted Belichick?
No, no, not really. I feel like, I don't know. There's a
so Sean McDermott got fired. You wouldn't want Sean McDermott? Don't even lie, bro. Don't even lie.
Sorry, well, Sean McDermott would love to play to coach the Jets with his 9/11 references. He loves doing that.
You can make all the jokes you want. You just said you wouldn't want to coach from the division. You said, now you're saying you wouldn't want Belichick or McDermott to coach the Jets.
Well, first of all, Belichick is how many years would we have actually been able to have Belichick as our coach? Belichick is going to be done coaching.
You wouldn't have signed up for 3 years of Belichick?
I don't think you're getting 3 years of Belichick anywhere. I think you're getting 1 or 2 years, and you're getting Steve Belichick, and you're hoping what that is. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
So, but part of it is just like, you want to have your own identity as a team. You want to move forward like as your own team. You can't, and that's part of like I wouldn't say we have a little brother mentality as a franchise, but part of that would be if you're looking at like the Patriots have this coach for 20 years. He's their guy. He's win 6 Super Bowls. He's great, and then after he pissed all over us to go take that job in the first place, what you were going to come crawling back and giving him a job while every other team in the league is basically saying, no, old man, just hang it up.
So does that mean Joe Brady's out, or he's just a coordinator, so he's okay?
Coordinator is different. That's different. That's why it's like a weird thing. The head coach is like the face of the franchise, right? Like one of the faces of the franchise.
So what's your top 3? You like Glenn?
I do like Flores. Flores is still in my top 3. That's just my. I said that. That's also. And also, first of all, wait. But I explicitly said to you, I don't dislike Flores as a candidate, as a coach, all those things. Right? I said a small part of me just feels that kind of way.
He's in your top 3?
Before I said this. Well, when you look at who are we talking to, though?
But forget who we're talking to. Your top 3. He's still in your top 3?
I mean, I'm not going to say Cliff Kingsbury is my top 3, but I know he doesn't want to come here, or Ben Johnson's my top 3. I'm going to be realistic.
So other guys being interviewed, who do you want? Who are your top 3?
I like Glenn. I like the idea of McCown, but you see, and Flores is fine. I think of the guys we're talking to, who's the other people? You have Rivera, you have Rex, you have Ulbrich, you have we're going to talk to the OC from the Packers.
Not a very inspiring list.
Yeah. So what I'm looking at, I feel like the top 3, if you're looking at your 2 in Glenn and Flores, and then you're looking at what is this guy?
Yep.
I didn't say he's a bad coach. I never said he's a bad coach. I said I completely feel different from him as I felt about Gase. It's just part of the thing.
So then, all right. So what about your general manager? Who do you want for general manager?
Definitely not Grigson. Just because, and it's not just the whole ruin Andrew Luck thing. The moves, bad drafting. I just, there's some things where it's just like, sometimes as a head coach, you think about it and you're like, there's things that can go wrong in that, where there's a lot of things that are not really up under your control. Okay. But I felt like the Colts, they had a good head coach. They had a good quarterback. As a GM, you should not be failing in that situation.
I agree. It's all right. So he's the guy you don't want. Who do you want?
you know, I mean, I think at this point you're making the right move to emulate good organizations. I don't think Joe Douglas no one thought Joe Douglas at the time's a bad hire, because you're looking at successful front offices, successful team building, and you're thinking you know obviously from the outside in looking in, you can never tell who's the real driving force behind these things, but you know you take the chance. So you're looking at the Chiefs at Bergonzi, you're looking at the guy from the Lions, you know,
Spielman.
there's I do like Spielman. What is there? Spielman and there's Agnew. You have the Tampa Bay guy, which is
Greenberg,
which is interesting because
they didn't enter Spytech though. I don't think
a lot of people. What? Pardon?
Was the guy the other guy Spytech? Where was the guy above him? They didn't interview him though, which was weird.
Well, I guess he's the maybe they're trying to create the Jets fan and the former Jet super team, and
he's a Cap guy.
Yeah. So my thing about the Cap guy, I want to mention that actually.
I hate you, dude. I literally hate him. He just doesn't let it go.
That's a troll comment right there.
It is. He's been trolling me for 2 weeks now.
The thing about the GM is I'm not too like anti-Cap guys. I know there's a lot of people who are like, he's a Cap guy, I don't want him. Because if you have a Cap guy and you have the right scouting people under him, you know, you're still gonna identify the right people. Right. If you have the right coaches, the right staff, and they're all in coordination.
Oh, shit, we know that. Give us your names. You're talking about.
I'll say on the Cap guy though, real quick, because I know I've been watching the show. I've been trying to call in. I see Tyson ignoring me in the chat.
I don't ignore nobody. The only
person I'm pleading Tyson, begging him to drop the link, and he's highlighting messages right next to mine.
You know what it is? Because you know what it is, prime time. We normally do like an hour and a half show. This guy comes in at like 9:25. Bro, drop the link. Drop the link. So we drop that link, we'll get 10 more callers.
I tell you, what happens to me so much is I end up joining at like 8:10, and the link is like gone, and then I'm just sitting here the rest of the night just hoping you're gonna drop it again, and I'm just like, it just never comes.
It just sounds like you're lazy, man.
You're supposed to skip the line. Yeah.
No, I don't want to skip the line.
You want like VIP access now.
I was the closer before Jose became the closer. Do you remember that?
I do, but now you blew us off.
I did not blow you off.
I called for a while.
He fell in love.
I had late classes, and I started working late at the time.
He fell in love, and that's what happens. It just priorities changed. That's what it is.
But
you notice how he talked about different things when the general manager thing came up. Now he's scrambling now.
No. But on the thing about the Cap guys, right? I'm watching the shows. A lot of people are saying they're anti-Cap guys, and I understand like the connotation with that, right? But looking at this team, I don't think a Cap guy is maybe the worst thing right now, because you're hoping to. I think it would be smart to extend Garrett. What Tyson? What is that? Is extending Garrett Wilson like negative?
But you're saying looking at this team, having a Cap guy is not a bad thing. Okay,
I mean the idea of it, right? Because
do we not need a quarterback? Isn't that kind of
we're gonna need? Every team needs a quarterback. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying
don't we need to rebuild our defensive line?
Yes, and having someone who can keep your star talent while on nice contracts that fit and you can move around and you have wiggle room, that can be very useful for a team in our situation, instead of being like, oh fuck, we gave this guy too much money, we didn't structure it that well, so we're gonna have to move this guy.
I agree. Listen, they're both important, but I'm saying
shitting on the idea of a guy and labeling him as a Cap guy versus sure you can.
What is Mike Greenberg's background?
My point is simply on the fact that shitting on a candidate just because they don't have the background you love, as if we can't also hire good scouts, is not the right way of thinking about things.
It's not shitting on anybody. It's questioning what their ability is and what's more of a priority to your organization. Say for an example, I can explain myself now since you're attacking me.
I'm not
Bergonzi. If you have a general manager with an extensive background in personnel evaluation, pro personnel scouting like that, you have more faith in him hiring guys with the same vision and standards that he has as he develops his front office staff. A Cap guy, you got to hire a personnel guy, and that personnel guy, like, it's another level that you have to trust in.
No, I don't disagree with that.
As Afrin said, we can have the Jets hire Afrin, and our problem is solved with the Cap.
His last call on the Cap wasn't so great, though.
That was terrible.
But I'm saying like Bergonzi was the first guy I mentioned. I do like Bergonzi. I'm not here just to come jump on Greenberg just because I
sound like you were.
I literally I started by just saying
he's the only legit Cap guy we interview.
No, I mean I thought they talked to the like analytics dude from Philly.
He's well-rounded though.
Yeah, he is well-rounded. I know
More
one of the
well-rounded than
reporters
Greenberg is.
took a exception to Samini calling him that, and basically was like, "No, this guy does more than that."
He does do more than that. People gotta just a little more research. Stick around a little bit.
No, so I'm just saying I'm the way I'm kind of approaching this is, I've given my opinion on I don't this is not worse than the DK Metcalf conversation, which I was
That's
right
definitely not, or the Kittle one.
I was right about that one though. So
I'm not sure about that, but all right.
AJ Brown's not better than DK Metcalf.
Well, it could be the quarterback. Could be the system.
I saw the player while he was with Tannehill, and you guys were just seeing the Russell Wilson throws downfield to DK. I'm just saying I knew. I knew.
So then why aren't you applying for the GM job?
I wish, I mean,
did you give us your top 3 GMs yet or no?
No, I said yeah, I said Bergonzi, and I like the 2 from the Lions. I don't like Grigson. I like Dimitrov, but like you guys talked about it earlier today, that since he was literally the first interview and you've heard basically nothing on it, and then with the report, when the report came out that if the Jets were looking at an experienced guy, that it would be Grigson. That to me just made me think completely that Bergonzi is. I didn't say Kittle sucks.
I remember when you said it too. Guy is trash.
I didn't say that's not what I said.
I mean, primetime said Aaron Rodgers was washed 3 years ago. So I mean, we all got to,
I never said that.
PT has been killing me with the Rodgers defending. I actually remember I came prepared to with a lot of info, and stuff, and Garrett
open that door
and stuff. I didn't get into the call, so
we'll save that for next week.
But now it's too late. I'm not gonna come back and talk about remember when I was really mad during the when he threw that that fade. When he threw that fade. My take wasn't about Kittle being overrated.
System tight end, I remember it.
It was about
system tight end.
I'll stand on that. Kyle Shanahan, he gets the most out of tight ends everywhere he goes.
Rex Ryan cannot be on any list. I'm sorry. He can't be. Rex Ryan's toast.
No.
Rex Ryan is not on any of my list other than let him go to Cowboys. But see, now is like, how many interviews is Rex Ryan going to get anywhere else with all these job openings?
None.
Exactly. I mean, how many interviews is Deion Sanders going to get?
How many interviews is Jeff Ulbrich going to get?
You see that news?
He deserves at least one more.
I don't know if you guys saw that, right?
Yep.
Deion Sanders.
I mean, Deion. He just said his son's not going to go to certain places.
Oh, they said the Cowboys are talking to him right now.
Really? To Deion Sanders?
Yes, Schefter. Schultz reporting now. Schefter's reporting it. That Sanders is a candidate, serious candidate.
Wow.
Crazy.
Well, Jerry. See, Woody wants to be Jerry. That's
let
Jerry
wild.
be Jerry. Let Jerry be Jerry. Let's just go. Are we actually?
I don't know. You can't trust the chat, man.
I would have assumed McCarthy would fall in the same boat as Kingsbury and Monken, where I think the same thing with Ben Johnson is the same thing with Kingsbury and Monken, where it's just like, they back channeled either his agent or talked to him. And they said, nah. I mean, especially and McCarthy was part of those other two who were disrespected in that 2019 process. I remember McCarthy was basically asking for the Jets job. He wanted to work with Sam Darnold. He wanted to be our coach. Monken thought he had the job locked up. And Peyton Manning's whispered sweet nothings about Adam Gase.
Disaster.
And Christopher Johnson jumped on that. Jesus
Christ! This highlight package of this game is pretty cool, isn't it? This halftime show.
Really. Not really.
It is pretty. All I see is Sam Darnold is back the whole first.
All I see is the Vikings defense getting shredded.
All I see is friggin'
also a little
strip sack, interception. Woof.
Yeah, your phone on.
A little philosophy thing that I like about Glenn, just personally, it's not. I'm not hating or anything.
He watches film with his players at his house.
No. I kind of, not gonna lie. I want to see us play man defense. It's just a little small thing. Obviously you need to mix it up, whatever.
I want to see us win games. I don't give a shit about the.
No, I know. That's why I said a little.
That's part of winning, though. When you have a soft ass defense that's giving up 6-point quarter leads,
no way. Over the past few years, there's no way with our corners that we should be playing zone just as much as we do.
That's a great take, Job, and I like that.
I think at this point, right? Like, obviously, I still think I don't agree with the bullshit. I don't think Sauce is a worse corner than Stingley. No offense, I think Stingley's great. I love Stingley pre-draft. I still like Stingley. I just think Sauce is better. But at least in Houston, even when he was struggling year one and such, they were throwing him on good wide receivers. They're letting him move around. And look, he's developing into a guy who's traveling and doing really well. He's traveling all over the field. He's doing really well, and Sauce. I think Sauce should be doing that. And the fact that, I mean, this is not a knock, but the fact that Sauce is getting like Richard Sherman in that, like in the Legion of Boom, like and Richard Sherman was a great zone corner in that, like, you know, he was a much better tackler and stuff than like Sauce is, and like and like he was able to just completely erase the side of the field. But the way Sauce plays, I think he's so much better in man coverage than he is in zone coverage, because he's not going to ball hawk and be a guy to rack up picks, but he can be a guy who can take out a number one wide receiver on that side, or on whatever side, and follow him around. And I think I would like to see our defense take advantage of that with the three corners we had this year.
Well, one was always hurt. The other one's going to be gone. So
I mean, we've had them for 3 years now, right? With the three corners we've had, there is no world why I've never disrespected Kittle's ability to catch and run after the catch. I've actually praised that so much.
So now the question is, if Sam Darnold falls apart here, do you put down Daniel Jones in?
No, you definitely don't.
Oh,
look at that throw!
So lucky.
Look
He got so lucky, dude.
Did you see the hit he took on that?
He is getting so. That was a pick.
Did you see
He is
the
getting
hit he
so
took?
lucky. He's getting
That's
his
a
receivers
franchise quarterback
killed.
throw right there. Look at this shot he takes.
Yeah, he's gonna be taking more shots than this.
God damn.
He took no shot at all. Probably a push in the shoulder. He's throwing up freaking prayers right now. Oh, dude, he is so lucky.
Look at that throw.
Are we going to let PT let that slide?
There is a pick coming.
That's a franchise quarterback throw. I don't know.
All right, to wrap it all up here, you want Aaron Glenn and who?
I'd really love Borgonzi. I don't know if we're looking so hard into matching up. Spags is interesting in that a lot of people are like, you know, he's not a head coach, he's just a DC, you know, and he was bad with the Rams. Right? I'm pretty sure that's where he was.
Who would you vote here, Javed?
I think I'm gonna have to give it to a head coach off or a coordinator.
Anybody look at that worm burn he just threw? Well, look at
that.
that.
I think PT,
what rosters are we working with? I think that's important.
PT is, you know, he's too player friendly. He's a little less of a head coach than Tyson for me. But I can see PT being an OC. You know, he's hyping up his guy. You know, he's keeping him positive on the sidelines. You know,
I've got coaching experience.
You know. I know you coach baseball, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I pay attention. But on Spags, it's like, why? I wonder. For starters, I wonder how many NFL coaches have had as many years off as he has between like stints.
Get him out of here! There's that look. There's that look. There's the look.
That is the look. That's the look.
You know, I'm just
that's
not
the
sure.
Look that broke me 5 years ago.
I'm not sure. There's a lot of. You know, you guys have been fans of the NFL longer than me. So, do you recall any coaches who've had as long off between like first and second stint as like Spags has?
Well, he kept hired. He kept coaching at least. They're like Dick Vermeil left and came back, but
yeah,
Spagnuolo's kept coaching. He's just not as a head coach. He's been
how long off? How long was Pete Carroll off? I know he was head coaching in college, but like how long was Pete off between?
He was out a bit too, but he stayed active though.
But Spags to me is like I understand. You know, there's some guys who are just they're not a head coach. They're not head coach
material
quality, right? I think Sam could actually go to the Steelers.
All right, so then Spags is out. So
Jaguars
with Spags having so much time, is there a chance that he's changed and he's learned? Because like you would think he wouldn't be still the same exact person he is.
And he's watching Andy Reid firsthand. Yeah,
he's been with multiple successful coaches. You know, he has his own thing. Since he's last been a head coach, he's won multiple Super Bowls now, and he's been with Andy Reid. You'd think, I mean, if we're looking at other coaches who have had no time off to reflect and are like just hand them the keys to the franchise. I mean, I don't know. You might think about it.
I think about it. Why not? Well, you know, it's good talking to you, man. You put a lot out there. There's a lot of hot takes in the chats. Enjoying all of them. See, and I'm just enjoying Primetime's reaction to Sam Darnold playing like shit. It's great.
Love you guys as always.
Good to talk to you, man.
Arnold, the same way we gotta let go of Rodgers, PT.
I can't win on the show. I can't win on the show.
Hey,
I can't watch the quarterback play.
You're winning off the show. Look at the glow. We see it.
Yeah, thanks, John. Thanks,
winning
John.
off the show.
It's not all about football sometimes. Have a good night, man.
Yeah, have a great night, guys.
You too, man.
Prime time. That's the biggest story about tonight. It's not Sam Darnold being Sam Darnold. It's you and Love.
We'll see.
That's the biggest story. This is the most you've smiled since I've known you. You've never smiled this much before.
I have. It's been a while.
Dude, the minute I looked in, so just so everybody knows, prime time we do these shows usually calls in 15 seconds before the stream starts.
No, 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Bullshit.
No.
15 seconds where I'm like already to text Afram. Tonight he was 5 minutes early. Like he turned the lights on for everybody. For me too. My lights were on too. I'm like, holy shit.
Put him extra bright tonight.
This is love. This is a whole new prime time here. He's making videos now too. Like, what the hell? He made a video
2 days in a row. 2 days in a row.
I'm like, what is this garbage? We do need a kangaroo, though. That's true.
That's true. We need Darren.
We all hope it works out. Primetime deserves love. He's a good
Thank
dude.
you, Armin. Appreciate it.
Bad takes, but he's a good dude.
Thanks.
So thank you guys for joining us. We're not staying. This game's a joke.
No.
So hold on. Would you rather know your team is garbage and not make the playoffs, or go 14-3 in a win now season and get steamrolled in the first round? So would you rather be the Jets or the Vikings right now, primetime?
I'd rather be the Vikings.
Me too.
With our playoff drought, at least have a fun season, win some games, get to the playoffs, at least get back to respectability.
And you know you have a winning program there, and that's why you got to tinker, change up some things. Yeah. I'd rather just win games, man. I'm so tired of losing.
Yep.
So tomorrow, 7 o'clock, me and Ian will be live arguing about Matt Nagy for the third week in a row, which is always fun. And that's it. And then next week, Monday night, I'm out. So prime time's up to prime time.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
I'm out.
You're not out. You're not out.
I'm
You're
not
not
out.
out.
I'm not
You're
on.
not out.
I'm not going to be here.
I'm going to go live and just call you all night.
You can do it. I'll turn my phone off. So if there's a stream next Monday, it's because of prime time. It's not. I will not be involved at all. I'm radio silent.
Choosing Notre Dame over our chat. That's just
1,000%. Because I enjoy winning for once in my life.
But they're not going to win though.
That's fine. They're there. I'm going to enjoy the moment. All the pregame, I enjoy all of it, dude. The press.
I said I'm not going to be a hater.
You are.
Enjoy your moment next week. Enjoy your moment next week.
No, listen. You guys all witnessed it now. Primetime has the opportunity to stream. I'll set it all up. Romeo loves doing it. You can get Bubs, Afram, all kinds of people. I can call in a halftime. I could do that.
If I do go live, it's strictly going to be like a Notre Dame stream. We're not even going to talk Jets. We're just going to watch the Notre Dame game.
Yeah, Primetime's in love. He's going to go on a date next Monday. If Notre Dame does win, then I'll be nervous. Freeman's he's gonna get some. He already got a new contract, but man, I like
me and Javid will talk Rodgers next week.
There you go. Do that. I don't want to be in that conversation for sure. So everybody have a good night. Enjoy the rest of the game, and then tomorrow with Ian. Next Monday, it's all him. I'm out.
See you in 2 weeks.
See you guys later.
Later.